Atris. What's up? What's up, Annie? How's it going? How's it going? Howdy, howdy, but right back at you. What's up, Elo? How's it going, Rosie? What's up? What's up? And Lotus. What? Hey, how's it going, Triotter? Rosie. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, let's get it indeed. What's up, Dean? How's it going? What's up, Pete? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Whoa! Huge WAG for the meteor shower. I appreciate that. Bork, right back at you, Caro. Happy everyone's here. I'm glad everyone is here. Let's try to get this live in front of as many people as we can. Caro, thank you so much. Gio, thank you so much. AG, I appreciate that. Again, big WAG in the comment section. That's incredible. Appreciate that this early on, especially. How are you feeling today? Feeling good. Yeehaw. Thank you so much, Lena. Appreciate it. Or Lena, it might be. Love you too, Carla. Appreciate that. How's it going? Yeah, everybody just keep on spamming that like button. Keep on double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. JJ, I appreciate that. That's so cool. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you are 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Rachel Rose, thank you so much. I appreciate that. In addition, you cannot be driving and you need good audio quality. Hanji, thank you. That screen regardless. Keep on putting those likes on up there. Let's get the like count up.
Bro, why do you think God isn't real light?
Oh, you gotta be 18 or older, sorry. What's up, Brandon? How's it going?
You hear me?
Brandon, are you there?
You hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, how old are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm 65.
Yeah, and what religion?
I'm Catholic.
Okay, so what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Bro, so you gotta look at the trees. You know the trees outside?
Are we real? Are we doing a bit?
What?
Are we doing what are the first 3 books of the Bible?
The Christian Bible, the Quran.
Yeah, the Christian Bible, the one that you believe in.
Yeah, what about it?
What are the first 3 books?
I have no idea. What is it?
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you're a troll.
Bro, I love you, bro.
I love you too. No, that's fine. But sorry, I can't engage too much with trolls. Yeah, only come up if you want to debate. What's up, drummer? How's it going? All right. Well, let's see if we can get somebody up here, because wouldn't that be nice? Let's see. Hey, what's up, JK? How's it going? Are you
How you
driving?
doing, man?
Doing well.
I hope God is not real because can you hear me?
Oh, are you driving? Sounds like you're in a wind tunnel.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I've already answered yes like 3 times.
Hello?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll just go on to the next one then. Sorry it's taken so long. Hopefully we'll get one soon. What's up, drummer Brian? How's it going? How old are you?
45.
Yeah, what religion are you?
What religion are you, my friend?
I'm an atheist. So what religion are you?
Christian. What does that
Yeah, because we're about to have a
does that
debate
matter?
about God. I just got to know which God you believe in. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Well, it's... You know the small percentage of atheists? Could you Google that for me, please, real fast?
Yeah, it's like 2% of the population. But if you look at the percent of atheists among like philosophers, for example, it's like 70%.
No. Of the population, my friend. Don't try to
Yeah,
make
it's like
it seem
2%. It's right around 2%.
Less than 2%, right?
Depends where, like, what population. If you want like world population.
Just Google it. And I want
Damn,
you
we got
to
a
tell us
condescending
why.
Connor. Yeah, I told you it's like 2%. It's pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty low.
Yeah.
So y'all think y'all are the smartest people on earth, the less than 2% of the population.
Yeah.
Can you get a Rolex?
Yeah,
from nothing.
fortunately,
You get
I
a
don't.
Rolex.
Wait, hold on. Let's not pivot away. Fortunately, I don't base my opinions about metaphysics off of what the majority of people believe in. That just seems silly. I mean, if we go back to ancient Greece, the majority of people believed in like Zeus and Apollo and Athena. But certainly, we would agree that believing in Zeus and Apollo and Athena is
You have
silly.
like a smugness about you. You shouldn't have that with your type of haircut.
I
You should
love
be
my
you should
haircut.
be
My hair
more
is
you
great.
should be more humble. It looks like pubic hair on the top of your head, bro. Don't try to make me
I
look
love
stupid,
my.
cuz. Don't make cuz you don't
I
want
think
to
you're
fight
doing
about
plenty
it.
good job of that already.
I
No, I think
guarantee
my
you,
hair is
you don't
great. I
want to
love my
fight
hair.
about
I
it.
wouldn't trade my hair for anything. My hair is just
You wouldn't want to
curly.
fight about it though, would you? You're a
Yeah, I
pussy
mean,
on
I'm just not really
TikTok,
interested. I'm not really
but
interested in a debate about my
face
hair.
to
But
face, you know what
if
I'm
you'd like to
saying?
debate about
No.
God,
Debate about God. Why don't you do some research, man? A little
yeah, research. What am I
2%.
researching?
You're mad at God. Tell me, why are you mad at the Creator?
Well, I can't be
You
mad
think
at a
all
thing
this
that
could
doesn't
come about?
exist.
Do you think it could all come about by happenstance, by evolution, by
Oh, I
millions
don't
and
think that
millions of
evolution is like
years?
happenstance. I think that there's a really logical mechanism behind evolution.
Your smugness is insulting.
It's not
I mean, like your
smugness.
face is
It's just
insulting.
autism, and also complaining about being insulting from you is like really ironic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You wouldn't tell me that to my face, only on TikTok
I
like a
would tell you that
pussy.
to your face.
Yeah, right, bro. You
Yeah,
would piss in
wait,
your
cam up.
you would piss in your pants, brother.
No, I don't think so. But I'm not really
You
interested in
sound
these
like a
like childish
retard. Hey
games.
man, what prove God's
Oh, that's
real?
not very demure.
Prove God's real.
That's not very cutesy. You can't say that word. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's ladies and gentlemen, Christians. What's up,
What's
Devin? How's it
good?
going?
Not much. I just want to say I really like spaghetti.
Okay, well, I
Nah.
love that for you. That's pretty cool. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
Okay, cool. Okay. No, I'm just, and by the way, I am a Christian, but I'm gonna say now I'm not like a genius on anything. I just kind of have my views. And I'm kind of in a point where I do believe in God, but the more I learn about like astronomy and physics and things like that, I've kind of changed my point of view on God, where it's kind of like steering away from the Bible and maybe more of like a spiritual thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Maybe, but like, do you believe in like a God who's like a person, like a mind who created everything, and like designed it all, and he's like a God who's like all good, all loving, all powerful?
It's kind okay. I used to believe that, like just straight right like that. And the more, like the older I get, I'm starting to think maybe that's not how it is. Maybe it's more so kind of like, you know how you feel the wind? I know it sounds crazy, but I feel like maybe he's more, or it's not a person, but maybe more of just kind of like a being.
Hmm.
Like when I see the universe, I kind of feel like that's God.
Yeah, yeah. And that's really cool, but I'm probably going to move on to the next guest because I'm only looking to debate people about the
You're
God
a
of the Bible,
Christian.
Torah, or Quran, and that sounds like
Okay.
something else.
Okay. Have a
But I
good
do
day.
appreciate it. Thanks for coming up here. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Don't stop double tapping on that screen. Let's get to 30K likes. We can do it. I believe in us. What's up, Rue? How's it going?
Hey, it's going good.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Yeah, what religion are you?
I'm an atheist. Was a
Oh,
Christian growing up.
yeah, sorry. I'm only looking for debates. So only request to join if you're 18 or older, if you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran, and if you have arguments which do not involve personal experience. Otherwise, not going to talk to you. I apologize. It's taken so long. All knowing, all loving, all powerful, very classy, very cutesy, very demure indeed. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Joey?
He's real.
How old are you? Oh, we got a running Randy over here, wheeling Walter. Maybe if you just restate your conclusion, then that'll convince people. Or maybe it won't. So just double tap on that screen. Hey, what's up? How's it going, mister?
I am he.
Hey, how old are you?
I am 48.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
I am Catholic.
Yeah, so what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience? So you come here often? Well, yeah, we got a silent Sarah over here. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Expensive Truth, what's up? How old are you?
5.
You are very far away from your microphone.
No, I'm not far away from. I'm using the phone.
Can you get closer? You're like still super quiet.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How old are you?
I said I'm 25 from
Yeah.
Nigeria.
And what religion are you?
I'm not into any religion. I'm not a Christian or Muslim or anything.
I'm only looking. So if you're in that guest request box for like the 5th time, I'm only looking to debate if you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you're 18 or older, and if you have real arguments that do not involve personal experience. If those things aren't true, don't request to join. Otherwise, I'm just not going to talk to you. You can't be driving, and I also do discriminate based on audio quality.
You might.
Okay, I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, reformatted like a hard drive, baked like a potato, cooked like a souffle, dunked like an Oreo. Get your ankles absolutely shattered. You will never debate again. Thanks, Addy. Appreciate it. Hey, how's it going, Alejandro?
How's it going, man?
How old are you?
I'm 40.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
Catholic. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in Jesus? Jesus?
What do you mean by believe in? I think that he was like a person who existed. I don't think he was the son of God.
Oh.
Do you have any evidence that he was the son of God?
No.
Okay.
No.
So do you have any evidence that God is real?
Well, not anything other than personal experience.
Yeah, I'm not looking for personal experience, so I guess I'll just move on to the next guest, but I do appreciate you coming on up here. Wow, we're getting nowhere quickly. What's up, Lexi? How's it going?
Good. I believe in God.
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2005.
What religion are you?
Almost 19.
Wait, and
I
what
just
year?
believe
Okay,
in
I'm
God,
sorry.
that's
Wait,
it.
what year did you graduate?
This year.
Okay, I don't know. I'm not buying it. Sorry, if you just have like a young sounding voice. I apologize. What's up? I got you. How's it going? How old are you?
51.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
Baptist.
Okay, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Creation.
Yeah, so I agree that creations require creators. I just don't agree that the universe is a creation. So what's your evidence that the universe has a creator?
The faith thing. You believe in something you don't see. You believe that when you flick the light on it, it's light's going to come on, right? It's faith. You believe in, but you probably see that. Faith is something that you believe in something you ain't never seen.
Yeah, but there's lots of things that you also haven't seen that you don't believe in. For example, you've never seen like Casper the Friendly Ghost, but you don't believe in Casper the Friendly Ghost, presumably. So just because you can't see something doesn't mean that you should believe in it. That's just nonsense.
I believe people wax people's eyebrows. You don't believe it.
Oh, that's pretty rude. But you have like a real argument?
It's not rude, it's just facts. I mean, you can see it.
Aw, you're making me sad. But you have like I don't really care about that, but you have like a real argument?
No, I mean, you have what makes you think God ain't real?
Oh yeah, just the existence of gratuitous natural evils that exist in the world, things like earthquakes, malaria, cancer, etc.
God ain't the author of confusion either. That's what he says in the Bible. You don't believe the Bible to be true?
I certainly don't. If I believed that the Bible were true, then I'd probably just believe God based on all the times it mentions him. So what's your evidence that the Bible is true?
Well, it's the only book I ever known that's been handed down through generation to generation and centuries, and It's still around.
Yeah. So what about like all the Buddhist books?
Why would something that's a book that speaks on what things we shouldn't do, why would it still be around so long if it wasn't true?
There's lots of books that do exactly that. Wait, hold on. There's lots of books that do that exact thing. For example,
like what?
Like all of Plato's dialogues, which exist older and predate the Bible by around 400 years. There's all of the Buddhist books, which predate the Bible by thousands of years. All the Hindu books, which also predate the Bible by thousands of years. These books make moral prescriptions and tell people what they should do, but you don't believe in any of, or at least you don't believe in like in Hinduism or Buddhism.
People
What?
have diluted Christianity. I mean, nobody follows God no more. Nobody wants nothing to do with God because it's something they can't see and they can't actually lay their eyes on it. But I mean,
They're there, buddy. They're there.
Think about
That's
this.
rough, buddy.
Let's think about this. Think about God not being real, and you live your whole life as a good person, do good, do the best you can to help others out, do this, do that. And he isn't real. So what? You lived a good life. You don't go to heaven. You don't do this. Let's say he is real, and you don't live for him. You don't do what you're supposed to, and you miss out on eternal happiness and eternal heaven, and you end up being in hell. I mean, I'm just using that.
Yeah, let's say that anti-God is real, and that he's going to send all the atheists to heaven, and then all the Christians get hell. So what then? What happens if anti-God is real? You spent all your life worshiping a god, wasting your time at church, when actually the real God was anti-God, and all the atheists get to go to heaven. What then?
You're delusional then.
So you're delusional in the situation where anti-God is real?
I'd rather believe in something that I've never seen and have a chance of going to heaven than I would be not believing in something and be in hell for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but I mean, if anti-God is real, if we're just doing like what if my God's real? What if there's like a God out there who's going to bring all the atheists and all the non-Christians to heaven, and then we'll just banish all the Christians to hell?
When you're laying on your bed and you praying, one day you'll see this, and it takes you a while probably in life, and I experienced it a long time ago.
I don't want the personal anecdote. Sorry.
Well, it's not. I'm not telling you what I did, but you're going to experience a time in your life where you're going to call out on God, and you want to want His help, and you're going to say, God, if you help me, I promise I'll live for you.
That's not true. Some people go their entire lives as atheists.
That one day in your life. You're going to experience that one day in your life. I promise you.
People spend their entire lives as atheists. That's not true at all.
The Bible says this. The Bible says every man has an opportunity in his life to do that.
Wait, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Wait, so let's just come together.
Right, that's between you and God.
Let's pray that God.
That's not going to do with me.
Wait, hold on. Let's not be a running Randy, a wheeling Walter. Guest, I'm so sorry. Wait, you're just talking a lot. So, how about we all come together and pray that God lifts the cap off of this marker. Let's call out to God for help.
That's your ignorance.
What about this is ignorant? You said that there's going to come a time where we call out to God for help and that He's going to respond.
What if that pen drew you some better eyebrows? What if that lit cap?
That's pretty sad. Hey, thank you so much for the $20 in Venmo. Your eyebrows and hair are perfect. Don't listen to these. Don't listen to these fairy tale thumpers. Heart. I appreciate that. Big WA in the comment section. I appreciate it. WA.
If you let it grow in the middle, you'll have a unibrow.
I don't really want a unibrow. I kind of like my eyebrows as they are.
I think if you got a unibrow, then you.
Wait, I don't. It's not really a debate about my eyebrows. I'm alright. Wait, do you want to? And it just seems an awful lot like you're running from the argument because you know your position is indefensible. So instead of attacking my arguments, you need to attack my eyebrows.
Well, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm getting ready to go home from work. I don't really care.
I mean, you're just like making your position. I can't tell you what to believe in life. You're just like making your position look really bad, right?
I can't tell you what to believe in life.
Twetsky, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App for you look amazing. He just has no eyebrows. W Twetsky, W666, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Twetsky. Big W Twetsky in the comment section.
It'll come to you one day, bud.
Wait, how about you? Can we get if you're gonna make fun of my appearance, would you mind camming up?
No, I don't have a cam.
Oh, you don't have a cam? I think everybody should have a cam. In fact, in order to go live, it requires camera access at the very least.
Yeah, I don't
So
have
that's
cam.
just
You
not
can see
true.
me
You
on my
actually
picture. Look at me
do
on my
have a
picture.
camera.
I'm so good looking.
All phones have
I'm so good
cameras.
looking.
In fact,
I bet you believe we come from monkeys too.
what model of phone
You believe in
do you have?
evolution? You believe in evolution?
Oh yeah, pivoting away. Gotcha. So you wanna ad hom
believe in
until the ad
evolution?
homs
You
get
believe in
too hot and
Do
heated.
you believe in evolution?
Wait, I do believe in evolution. Yeah, I do.
You do?
You're frantic.
Okay, if you believe in evolution, why ain't they still evolving?
We are still evolving. Good one.
Why ain't we still evolving?
Yeah, wait, what do you think like the tailbone or the vemeronasal organ is?
Why ain't we still got tails?
I've already answered this twice. We're still evolving. We don't have we don't still have tails. Do you want the answer, or do you want to keep hearing yourself talk? So the reason why we don't have tails is because it's not evolutionarily advantageous, because they don't do anything for us.
Well, what will you do for them? So your mom and daddy or your grandma and grandpa was a monkey?
Certainly not. No, they were humans.
When did your generation, when did your family ancestors turn from monkeys to humans?
Never.
So how do we evolve from monkeys?
We didn't.
You just said we did.
I never said that.
You said we had a tailbone. We had a tail.
Yeah, we had tails previously. We now no longer have tails.
Why ain't the monkeys in the woods? Why ain't the monkeys and the gorillas in the woods turning into humans if we evolved?
Because we didn't. So first of all, we didn't come from monkeys. Second of all,
you said you believe in evolution.
I think
you said you believe in evolution.
You're doing a lot of yapping. Wait, let's not be a steamrolling Steve. Let's just be a listening Larry. Okay.
I'm not a listening Larry.
We can tell that you're not a listening Larry. So evolution isn't. We don't believe in like Pokemon. We don't think that the gorillas like evolved into humans. What we think happened is that we share a common ancestor with all the other great apes, and then from this common ancestor had a common ancestor with monkeys, but we never came from monkeys. We are great apes. We're a member of the great ape family, which is why we share so many similarities. Now, I have a question for you. If we don't share a common ancestor with great apes, then why is it that our second chromosome is a perfect fusion of the 2A and 2B chromosome held by all other great apes? Could you explain that?
Close to them. We were very close. But, a lot of people believe that we come from monkeys.
Wait. So we don't come from monkeys. We have a common ancestor with great apes.
Okay.
Apes are not monkeys, just so you know. I don't know if you know that or not.
Monkeys, apes, chimpanzees, gorillas, they all the same.
They sure aren't. Good try.
Yeah.
That's not correct. They're not all the same. But that is about the understanding I would expect from you.
They're not all in the XW chromosomes?
XW? What do you mean XW chromosomes?
Yeah, we got XY, women have XX, and monkeys have XW, right?
I have no idea.
You didn't know that?
No, I have no idea. I don't know anything about that.
XW chromosomes.
I just have no idea about that. I mean, we're pretty close to monkeys, but we never. Wait, buddy.
You know why we have XY chromosomes? Because we have a penis.
Well, that's not. Wait, and I know you want to like desperately pivot to the trans
I'm serious.
issue
Women have XX chromosomes because they have.
Wait. I'm gonna. This is like easily refutable. This is like super. I'm aware that this is like generally true. I didn't ask. So let's just get back. Let's just get back on topic because you never answered the question. Wait. I got you. You never answered the question.
What?
Why is it the case that if we didn't evolve from a common ancestor that all the other great apes evolved from, then why is our second chromosome a perfect fusion of the 2A and 2B chromosome that they all share?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That'd be for a scientist or
so this is the scientist. Yeah, it's a question. Exactly. It's a question for the scientists. And do you know what the scientists say?
You can't argue facts.
Do you know what the scientists say?
What do they say?
Evolution. They say that it's because of evolution. They say that our chromosomes are like this because of evolution.
But, what's really funny is a lot of scientists are coming back to God. They know that all these things have been found to be true that the Bible speaks about.
Such as?
They try to deny it because of science, but then they really always circle back to the creation of God.
You got any statistics on that, or is this more of a feel?
I'm not a scientist.
You're more of like a vibes-based person. You don't like to ground your opinions in reality and statistics. You like to come up with your opinions on the spot and just make claims. I get it.
I'm just telling you what I know. What I know.
You don't know that though, because it's not true.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Yeah. Go ahead and pivot away. Go for it.
Do you think it's cool for a 10-year-old to buy cigarettes?
Probably not.
Why?
Because I think that it's going to come down to like some level of consent that we should protect kids by making blanket decisions for them about like what's bad.
Should a 10-year-old be able to buy a gun?
Probably not. I don't think so. I doubt it.
Be able to buy alcohol?
I'm still probably not.
I'm just asking you a question.
I think 10 is probably still too young for alcohol.
Okay, so
although that one's harder than the other two.
Why do you think it's too young for them to do that?
Because they're just not fully developed yet. Because as a society, we tend to make these decisions for kids that we prevent them from doing like X, Y, or Z thing. Wait, are we pivoting to trans issues? Really? Is this just like a setup for trans issues?
I'm not asking you a question.
I think you might be confused because my background isn't the trans topic.
No, it's not that. I'm just asking you, where's your moral compass at?
Where's my moral compass?
Yeah, what's your moral compass? Do you believe unaliving somebody is okay?
Typically not. Sometimes it is.
Why do you believe that? Now, if you don't believe in God, why do you believe that?
Oh, just because it's my moral intuition says no.
It's wrong?
Yeah.
Is it wrong or is it right? Is it right to do that or is it wrong?
My moral intuition seems to say that in most cases it's going to be wrong, but not all cases.
Okay,
there's certainly some cases where unaliving someone's fine.
Compass if you didn't believe in God. If you didn't believe in God, you wouldn't have no moral compass. You wouldn't think it was wrong because
that's not true.
God says it's wrong. It's wrong.
There's good reason.
If you didn't believe in God, you wouldn't think it's wrong.
Well, so if we actually look at brain scans relating to morals, so all we mean when we say like unaliving someone is wrong is just that it's morally unintuitive to us. Our moral intuitions are going to be based on our brain, which means that when we say something is immoral, we're basically just saying that it doesn't match our expectations, and expectations are just going to be dependent on the things that you experience in life.
Expectations are just what they hope for.
No, it's what they experience in life. So when we find something immoral, it's just that we have like some subversion of expectations. But if you think that God gives you morals, then we can talk about all the immoral stuff that God did in the Bible if you're interested.
What did he do?
Yeah, he commanded the slaughtering of children in 1 Samuel 15:3.
What did he kill them? What did he unalive them for?
For crimes that were committed 400 years ago.
So you're saying that God did that?
Yeah, he commanded it directly. Yeah, true.
Give me a verse.
1 Samuel 15:3.
I thought you didn't believe in the Bible.
But you do. That's the point.
No, but you said you didn't believe in it. But
I don't believe in the Bible, but you do. So I'm just telling you. If you try to say that you get your morals from God, that's gonna. Wait. I think you're a bit confused right now. So wait, I got you. Just calm down for a second. Let me explain something to you so we can have like a productive dialogue. So what I'm launching right now is called an internal critique. What I'm doing is presupposing the truth of the things that you believe in. In other words, I'm presupposing that the Bible is true, and then we're finding contradictions from within that worldview.
How can you believe in something?
I don't believe in it, but I'm presupposing it for the sake of reductio.
How you quoting something you don't believe in?
I'm supposing it for the sake of reductio. It's called the proof by contradiction.
You're saying false information. You're believing in false information.
I think you're a bit confused. So it's called a proof by contradiction. So I'm proving it by assuming something and then finding the contradiction from assuming that thing. I don't believe in God.
You said you didn't believe in the Bible.
You're freaking out right now. Let's just calm down.
You didn't believe in the Bible.
We got a steamrolling Steve over here, a confused Corey.
Steve says you didn't believe in the Bible.
Your head is spinning right now. Let's just calm down.
You're
gibberating. Yeah, it's an internal critique.
Bro, you are totally brainwashed.
Bailey, thanks for the $1 on Venmo. W Bailey in the comment section. If I'm brainwashed, then that reflects really poorly on you because you're not able to engage with basic lines of reasoning.
Because you can't get through your thick skull. It's like that wood right there. Me beating on that wood. That's what your head's like.
Yeah, and I agree that we can ad hoc, but do you have an argument?
No, I don't have no argument. I'm just
gotcha. Yeah, wait. So you can't. No wonder your point's not getting through to me. You're not even making a point. You have no argument.
I'm just sitting here listening to you. You quoted something you don't even believe in.
Yeah, but you do believe in it, which means that because I don't believe in this, so I don't believe in this because it's contradictory. So I'm just pointing out the contradiction to you.
So how do you quote something saying it happened
because you do believe in it. So I'm doing an internal critique. So I'm presupposing your worldview to be true, and then I'm finding contradictions within your worldview.
Show me from the King James version of Bible where it said
that. Yeah, 1 Samuel 15:3.
Well, pull it up on your screen. Show it to me.
You want me to
I want
pull
you
it
to
up?
put it up there where you said God isn't real. Put that verse up on your screen. There.
Oh, I'm not going to change my background, but I'm happy to read the verse to you if you're interested.
You quoted something you don't even believe in.
Yeah, the verse says pretty clearly. So it's just God saying, "Go now, destroy Amalek. Do not let any of them live. Kill men and women, infants and children, camel and sheep, asses and donkeys."
Not of yourself is a gift of God, not of works lest any man should boast. It says, "For I go to prepare a place for you. For where I am, there you may be also. For God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, to whoever should believe them should not."
Wow, pivot to preaching. Wait, so you had no response. So maybe if you say words quicker, people will actually be able to catch one of them.
Well, I'm just saying, if you stop talking, they could have heard it.
Well, yeah, you said it. You said it quite quickly, and also it's like pretty unrelated. So, what do you? Wait. I have a quick question. Quick question. Wait. Quick question. What was my argument, and how do you think that responds to it?
No, in the beginning, God created heavens and earth.
Wait. Don't run. What was my argument, and how does that respond to it?
I don't know. You're talking about 400 people.
Yeah. Well, not 400 people. That God commanded the unaliving of an entire nation of children.
Of children.
Of all the children in the nation, God said, "Go and unalive all of them."
What was that because of?
Because they were born to the wrong parents.
To the wrong parents, bro. How could somebody be born to the wrong parents?
Yeah, exactly. Stay with that feeling. They can't.
How could they
which means that unaliving them is wrong.
You should have had my mother as your mother. And I should have had your mother.
No, I think that would be quite sad. I like my mom quite a bit. She's pretty cool.
I bet you she's a Christian.
She's not. Good try, though.
Doesn't your mother believe in God?
No, not anymore. Good try, though.
Let me talk to her. Get on the mic. I want to talk to her.
Damn, are you trying to? Yeah, she's married. I don't know if you. I don't know if she's gonna want you.
Was you born with did you have a daddy in the house?
Yeah, my parents are still married. Yeah.
Okay, well, call one of them in here. Tell them come in there.
I'm not going to do that.
I know you're in a closet. You're in a closet somewhere. Come in there.
Wait, let's not get
I can relate to them because they're my age. You're not my age. You're just a young kid.
Yeah. Wait. So we're pivoting to being like condescending about age.
I can just tell your parents.
That's a lot more embarrassing for you. Actually, imagine losing to someone who's half your age. Could you imagine getting like waxed by someone half your age? I mean, me personally, if I lost to like an 11-year-old, I'd fucking end it, dude. I would end it.
You were special
you
your
would
whole life.
Never see me again.
Your daddy told you were special your whole life, but
nah,
you really
it didn't
ain't.
Happen. Good try.
You're really not that special, but you want to be. But you're not. Your daddy never raised you like that, did he?
I mean, everything.
You were loved as a child.
I was loved
raised by a single mother. But it's okay.
Whoa, this one's awesome. Wait, do you have a?
There you go. Look at that. Somebody gave you a fairy.
No, they actually gave it to you. It's like $25. Except they probably didn't know this, but I actually take like a pretty large portion of gifts that are given to guests. But
oh man, take it all. You can have it all. I don't need it.
No, it's a good amount of money. It's like $20.
Well, I appreciate
$20.
I appreciate it, but I thank whoever did that. Thank you so much. But whoever you are, I'll give it back to you if you want. Just send me a message. But
yeah,
hey,
wait. Are you interested in answering for your God's crimes, or do you want to keep on pivoting to ad homs?
I don't have to answer for his crimes.
Do you want to keep on speculating about my home life and my personal life, or do you want to actually engage in the discussion? Annie, thank you so much for the $6.66 for your special to us, Ian. Aw, thank you, Annie. W Annie, W666, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Annie. Big W Annie in the comment section. Do you wait, guest? Are you interested? Are you interested in engaging in the discussion, or do I need to move on to the next guest?
We've been talking the whole time. I'm gonna be leaving in an hour from work anyway. So tell me what you want to talk about.
Yeah, I was just asking, like, how is it moral for God to command the slaughtering of an entire nation of children?
Let me explain something to you. God is, I've always had this curiosity myself. I'm not a great Christian. I believe in God. I believe Jesus died for our sins. I'm gonna get on to listen, Larry, and anything. Anyway, listen. I I've always wondered where God came from. If He created everything, even darkness, even space, where did He come from? But you know what? That's
Wait.
That's not for me to decide.
What was my question, and how do you think that answers it?
You talking about the 400 in the desert born to the wrong parents? I don't know how they was born to the wrong parents, because if a woman spit out a child, how could they be born to the wrong person?
The reason why God commanded their slaughter is because 400 years prior, the people who used to live there went and took the lives of a bunch of Israelites. So then 400 years later, God said, okay, we're going to go back there and we're going to wipe out all of them,
Was that before
including the
Jesus?
children.
Was that Old Testament? So I don't.
Yeah, that's Old
Okay.
Testament. Would you mind providing me the verse in the New Testament that says that the Old Testament didn't happen? Because if you think God's all good, then you still need to answer for this.
All I know about the Old Testament is, we're New Testament people now, but Old Testament used to be before Christ was here. So
Beth, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo.
Okay, can you stop saying the
Beth,
666? I don't wanna hear that.
W666, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Beth.
God,
Big
you
W
just
back in the
W's
comment
chat.
section. I appreciate that.
Dakota, W's in the chat for the 666, he says.
Yeah, true.
Hearts in the chat. Hearts in the chat. Anything can go in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, my point is, get Richard in here.
You sound like one of those spray bottles when it's out of liquid.
I don't know. I laugh like a hyena. Anyway, yeah, we're New Testament Christians now since Jesus was born.
Did the Old Testament happen?
Yeah, the Old Testament happened. Yeah,
Gotcha. So if it happened,
let me ask you a question.
Is it the same God?
Do you believe in Noah and the flood?
Certainly not.
You don't believe the earth was once covered in all water?
I think that it was once covered in all water, but that wasn't because God made a flood to wipe out humanity.
Well, why was it covered in water?
Just because when the earth cooled down, all of it was water.
So when did it get hot?
It was first created hot. It was like a molten
it was
rock.
like a sun?
No, it was not like a sun. It was like molten rock, and then it cooled down.
Molten rock.
Formed liquid water.
If it was all covered in water, how did the mountains come about?
Tectonic plates. Good question.
So how about trees? Why do they grow up? Why don't they grow down?
What do they? Oh, they grow up just to branch out. So they have a very efficient surface area designed to them, insofar as they're growing upward and expanding outward,
Is it because
such
they
that they
grow
can
towards the sun?
get more oxygen.
Don't most things grow towards the light?
Satan, thank you so much for this. This is sick as hell. Satan.
They grow towards the light, go towards the sun?
Yeah, probably. That seems true.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow towards the sun, which is the Son of God. See, God come to earth in the form of man.
Ring-a-ding bee sting. You don't have so we're just doing metaphors now. I'm not really interested in the metaphors, but if you have an argument for your position, I'd like to hear it. But that's like a cute little saying, but it seems like we're bouncing all over the place. So I'm just gonna take us on back. So insofar as you agree that the Old Testament happened and you agree that it was your God, why would your God do that?
I don't know. It's probably because of somebody's sins.
Yeah, so the sins of people who were already no longer alive.
Well, that's not got nothing to do with me. I can't answer for their sins. They have to answer for
that.
But
you have to answer for God's crimes. It's your God.
I can't answer for what God does, and I can't answer for what them people done because it's a personal thing. God says it's a personal relationship.
Whoa! Thank you for the manifesting. That's awesome. I love that.
I can't explain why women go out here and have consensual sex with a man.
Would you prefer that they have unconsensual sex?
Wait a second. I don't know why they go unalive the child. Once they go have consensual, enjoyable sex with somebody, then they go use the system to unalive a child use it as a birth control.
You have an awful lot of pet issues.
Why do they do that?
I have a question for you. Wait, so 70% of all pregnancies end in miscarriages and stillbirths.
Okay.
Now, this is because of our anatomy. So God designed our anatomy. Why did God design our anatomy to take the lives of so many children? Why did God want 400 billion unalived children?
I don't know. Why does there over 50 million unalive children?
So the difference between 400 billion and 50 million is around 400 billion.
Probably they got a fucked up XX chromosome. They could
Lena,
have a
thank you
fucked up
so
XX
much for the
chromosome.
$6.66 on Cash App, and Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Lena, W Grimlock, W666, W Satan, hail Satan. Let's get a big
W in
W
the
for
chat.
Lena and Grimlock in the comment section. I
Hey,
appreciate that,
Richie,
Gifter.
come here. Come here. This dude here, come here.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
Hey,
Wait, so
this
so
guy
insofar
here, he
as
knows more
do you
about
do you
God
know
than I
how
do.
do you know how
Hey,
much
come here.
bigger? Do you know what the difference
here, Richie.
between 400 billion and 50 million is?
Well, I know the difference in numbers, yeah, but I'm just
Yeah. Wait, so what's the approximate difference between 400 billion and 50 million?
Probably
Thank you so
300
much.
399 billion,
Yeah.
550 million. I don't know, but
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
my
It's
point
it's
is, my point
wait, so
is,
the difference is approximately 400 billion. So why would God take the lives of 400 billion children?
why do you blame God for everything?
Because God designed our anatomy.
So did God?
Satan, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So did God cause all this high inflation in the world?
No, that's an economics supply chain issue.
Oh, supply chain. What about the supply?
Wait, I'm not interested. I'm not
Fine.
interested in discussing politics with you right now. We're talking about God.
Right, but you blame God for everything, just like everybody.
Wait, hold on. Let's not be a straw manning Steve. This is God's fault. God designed our anatomy. Our anatomy causes miscarriages. Therefore, God is to blame for all these miscarriages.
Bro,
So why would God choose to
What
unalive
is your
400 billion
ethnicity?
kids?
But what is your ethnicity, or do you, or what's your? Are you?
You're desperate.
You're
You're
European?
clawing
Are you
to try to get
European?
away from the question. You can't
I'm
answer the
asking you, are you
question.
European? Are you?
You can't answer the question, so instead you're just asking like, are you
I don't know
white?
the answer to
Yeah,
that. Why
my
should I answer if I don't
ethnicity,
know?
I'm Irish and German. Good question.
German,
Let's
Irish,
get back
and
to the discussion for the third time.
I am
Why
too,
would
I'm
God
Irish
choose
and
to take the lives of 400 billion with a B, 400 billion kids? Why
Why
would
did he
God
do
take their lives?
Why would He take their lives? He didn't take their lives.
He did. He designed the anatomy.
The Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with God. Do you think there's 400 billion are in heaven?
Oh, so that creates a bigger problem for you because if those 400 billion are in heaven, let's say if we're being generous, maybe there's, I don't know, like 10 billion Christians who have been saved in the history of humanity. So that means that you think the population of heaven is 98% fetuses who didn't make it out of the womb. And then it's 2% Christians who earned it. So there's a couple of problems here. One, that's extraordinarily unfair, which means that God's unjust because these like fetuses didn't have to earn it; they just got to fast track their way into heaven. But second, if 98% of the people in heaven didn't earn heaven, why doesn't God just make everyone in heaven at that point?
Well, you have a choice, and it's an age of accountability. So it's unborn inside of a woman. That child doesn't have an age of accountability. When
Do you remember what
like
question I asked you?
You have an age of accountability.
Do you remember what question I asked you?
You talking about the 400 billion?
No, I asked you a specific question. Do you remember what the question was, or were you not listening?
Bro, I probably wasn't listening because
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, we can tell that you're not listening. So the question is, at the point in time when 98% of the population in heaven didn't earn their way into heaven, why would God not just make everyone in heaven at that point? If 98% of the people in heaven didn't earn it, why not just make everyone in heaven?
Because you have to accept Him.
The 98% didn't accept him.
You have to accept Him.
The 98% of fetuses in heaven didn't accept him.
It doesn't matter. That's just how.
Oh wait, so it doesn't matter if you accept him. So you don't have to accept him. So I'll ask you the question again. At the point at time when 98, but why wouldn't God just make everyone in heaven so nobody even reaches the age of accountability?
Let me ask you a question.
Why wouldn't God just make everyone in heaven so nobody reaches the age of accountability? Why not do that?
If a 5-year-old's out on the side of the street, if a 5-year-old's out on the side of the street and somebody rides by and hits them with a car and unalives them, do you think they go to heaven, or do you think they?
I don't think heaven's a real place. I think that's like super tragic, though. So let's just get back to the question, though. Wait, so hold on, because I know you're desperate to get away from this. At the point in time when 98% of the people in heaven didn't earn their place there, why doesn't God just make everyone in heaven?
Well, He could if He wanted to.
So why doesn't He?
I don't know why He don't. That's
gotcha. So, but do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair that 98% of the people in heaven didn't earn it?
Yeah, I think it's fair because they was under the age of accountability.
Yeah, so then you would just say that we're extraordinarily unlucky to not have been
No, I would
unalived
say
as
we're extraordinary
children.
unlucky. I say we're extraordinary lucky to live as long as we have, to try to enjoy this earth as much as he gives.
Yeah, but there's a chance that we go to hell now, whereas they get the fast
That's
track
your
to
choice.
heaven.
That makes
Wait,
it
so
your
how is it
choice.
how is it fair that people get into heaven without
You
earning
have a
it?
choice whether you go to heaven or hell.
How is it fair that people get into heaven without earning it?
How's it fair? It doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't worry about fairness in life.
Amir,
It
thank you
doesn't
so
matter whether the
much.
shit's fair or not. I mean, I've had a rough life in my life, but I don't
Do
care
you?
if it's been fair.
I didn't ask, but do you agree that in order to be just, you need to be fair? That justice is fair?
Do I believe justice is fair? In what manner? Are you talking about through the judicial system, or are you talking about through God, or what?
Yeah,
are you
just
talking
like the justice in general. Do you think God's justice is fair?
about? I think God is just. Yeah, He says it. He
Yeah,
says it. I
so
believe it.
so if God is just and you agree that that includes fairness, then why does God have this wildly unfair system where only 2% of the people in heaven earned it?
I don't know, bro.
Gotcha. So all of these
You ain't got
pieces
me, I got
you've
me.
had to run I don't know
I got
quite
me,
a
you ain't
couple of
got me.
times just now.
You don't got me. God got me.
That's fine. You can go and pray and cope with this. The fact that you can't explain any of this.
That's the thing. People, people have so much harsh resentment towards God because
Nobody cares about the crying. Do you have an argument, or do I need to move on to the next guest?
I don't know, man.
Let's just skip the woe is me and get to the substance. Satan, thank you so much. Appreciate
Let's
that.
get to the substance. You talk about the substance, and I'll try to answer your question.
Yeah, I just asked you 3 questions that you had to say I don't know to all 3 of them.
Well, I can't tell you. You're not going to believe anything I say anyway because you already have your mindset.
No, you said I don't know. You can give your explanation if you want.
I gave you an explanation. It's just the way it is. God said it is the way it is.
Yeah, and why would God make it that way? Why would God make it in such an unfair way? Angie,
Because
thank you
he's
so
God.
much. Appreciate that.
He is God, and ain't nothing else greater than
Yeah,
him.
so you would say God's unfair. KTP, thank you so
ain't
much
gonna
for the
say he's
subscription.
unfair.
WKTP in the comment section.
No, I wouldn't say he's unfair. I just think he's almighty. I'd rather believe in something like that and have a chance to go to heaven than I would not be.
If he's not unfair, then why would he make such an unfair system?
I don't really care about his unfair system.
Gotcha, but you said that he's not unfair. So if he's
I didn't
not
say
unfair, then why
I
is
said I
his
don't care
system
if it
so
is
unfair?
I don't care if he is unfair.
Gotcha. Yeah, wait, so if he's unfair, then he's unjust. If God's not just, then the Bible's wrong.
Oh my God, bro!
Because the Bible says that God is just.
He says he's just. He is just.
Oh yeah, wait, but if he's unfair, then he's not just because justice is fair.
I don't have no dog in that fight, whether he's fair, unjust, or what. But the
Well,
Bible
you
says
need
he's
to have a
just.
dog in that fight, otherwise the Bible's not true.
Why would I need to have a dog in that fight?
Because the Bible says that he's just.
That's not for me to say. I'm not him.
Yeah,
He's
the
God.
Bible
I'm
says
just
that
a-
he's just.
I'm just an old sinner saved by grace. Is all I am.
Yeah, no one asked. The Bible says that he's just, and
He
part
is
of justice is fairness. So if he's not fair, he's not just.
Your definition of fair and just might not be the same as his.
We can just look up a definition of justice. It's going to include fairness.
Well, that's man's definition. You don't know God's definition.
Yeah, can I see God's dictionary somewhere? Where does God define justice?
You'll see it when you stand before him.
Gotcha. So all of these words are just meaningless. So anytime we reach a contradiction in the Bible, you can just say, well, that word that we commonly understand to mean this thing, well, God actually has a special definition. When God says that he's just, it could mean that God's a chair, or he's like a triangle, or that he's like 80 feet
You're going to
tall.
see
It
this
could mean
conversation
anything.
again in your lifetime. When you die or you stand before God, he's going to show you this conversation.
That's okay. It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen.
that's gonna be the joy of my life, getting to rewatch all of the Christians that I've waxed
let me
on
ask
like
you a
basic
question. Let me ask you a
issues.
question. Whenever he says, depart from me, you workers of iniquity, and he casts you into the lake of fire where you never stop burning for
It's
the
not
rest
gonna
of your life.
happen. It's not gonna
It's not
happen.
going to How do you know it's not going to happen?
Yeah, because there's a
He says
contradiction
it.
in the
He
properties
said
of
it.
well,
He says it'll happen.
he's so he doesn't say that it's gonna happen though, because he's not real.
He's unalived.
What are you gonna do when you show up at the gates of Hades, or when Allah casts you into Islamic hell? What are you gonna do then?
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I'm not going there. Hopefully I'll be in heaven.
And I'm not going to hell because it's not real. It's a fictional place.
It's a fictional place. Well, I guess do you go on the internet and go on to all these game places? You go play video games. They're a fictional place, aren't they?
I don't play video games
You don't
actually.
play no video games. Really? I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
I
You're a
like
big
reading
gamer.
philosophy papers.
You're a big gamer. You be talking to people on your little mic there. You're like, hey man, light them up.
Sounds like you spend a lot of time playing video games, but no,
my
I'm not
daughter-
much of a gamer.
My daughter's 16. She's a big gamer, dude.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Why is that cool?
I don't know. It's I think it's good to do what you like.
Well,
it's just not for me.
You don't like gaming? Yes, you do. Don't lie.
I just don't play games very much. I used to play a lot of them, but then I don't know. Just didn't really mesh with my life very well.
How old are you?
23? Why are we asking so many personal questions?
Well, I'm just asking your age because I have a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old daughter I raised. But I'm just saying, yeah, you need to. You'll have a time in your life where God will touch your heart, and you're gonna be.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I promise you, it will happen. He will. Just because me and you having this conversation, I guarantee you, it will happen to you before you turn 30. I guarantee it. And when you
It's
do,
not gonna happen.
I want you to come back and look me up. I might not be I got you, but you look for that pretty face right there, and I hope we have this conversation again. And when you tell me how he changed your life.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. But do you have anything else for me? Otherwise, it sounds like you're just retreating to. Well, you can't really prove you're God, but you'll know him in 30 years, in 10 years, you'll know him.
But we not all perfect. That's the thing about it.
Yeah, I never said we were. Wait. Do you have any more arguments, or do I need to move on to the next guest?
God says you have to ask daily for forgiveness of all your sins.
I'm not going to do that. So I don't believe in God.
You don't want to hear with the truth. That's the
problem. I just don't believe in God. So I mean, so you're saying God says to do this, but I don't believe in God, which means that I don't believe that He says to do this.
So we're talking, and I believe in Him. You don't. So therefore, it's a discussion.
Yeah. Then you can ask God for forgiveness for all of your sins. I don't care. Go nuts.
Here, I'm gonna do this. Lord, please help Ian. Whatever your name is. What is his name? Ian, I pray that God touches your heart and helps you see how really he really is.
Amen.
That's all I can do, bro. But
wait, hold on, because you've been yapping for a while.
When I was 16, I almost died. I almost died in a car wreck.
Yeah, I didn't ask, don't care. Let's move on to the next one. If you're enjoying the debates, make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 80K likes. Share it with your friends, drop a comment as well. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If not going to talk to you, and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. That was crazy. That was a crazy comment that I just read. But make sure you're sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Both are in my bio. And if you're 18 or older, you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's discord.gg/allegedly-Ian. I'd love to see you there. What's up, Taylor? How's it going? How old are you?
30. How about you?
Can you get closer to your mic?
Can you hear me?
A bit farther away from your mic.
Hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Sounds like you're talking to like a Mr. Microphone.
Nah. You can't hear me?
Just it's like the audio quality is terrible.
I'll come back then.
All right. Well, appreciate you coming on up.
I appreciate you. Bro.
Yep. What's up, you? Avasti Hardies, ahoy landlubbers. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 80K likes. If everyone left like 15 likes right now, we'd already be there. So let's get these likes on up. Get your likes up. Get your money up. We got this. I believe in us. How many guests do we have to bring up before one will join? Wow. Oop, we got one. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Key Lime, are you there? Okay. Alas. We'll keep on searching. We'll keep on pushing. What's up? How's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Itachi. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 39. I'm actually on your side. I wanted to debate with that guy that you was talking to earlier, but
oh yeah, sorry. I'm only looking for people who disagree with me. If you don't disagree with me, I'm not going to talk to you. Make sure if you're in that guest request box that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. and that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. What's up, Jay?
What's up? Why don't you believe in God?
You're not 18 or older.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh. That's funny. He was saying it. He was gonna say it too. All right. Oop. Hey, what's up? How old are you?
We gotta drive to freaking different place.
All right. You seem a bit confused, Colt. That's fine. Oop. Hey, what's up, Brandon? How old are you? Brandon, you there? Is Ian an Aquarius? No, I'm a Pisces. Good question. Ooh, fuck. Hey, how's it going? How old are you? Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Itachi. How old?
24.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
Christian.
Leah, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Leah, W666, W Satan, Hail Satan. Would you ever put your recordings on Spotify? Maybe. That's interesting. Maybe I'd consider doing that.
I've got like a couple sunflower seeds in my mouth, but once I get done, I'll talk normal. I promise.
Okay, that's fine. What's your strongest argument for the existence of God, which does not involve personal experience?
My strongest is my personal experience, but I'll give you this. I believe that the universe was created and designed, and that points to a designer and a creator of the universe.
Well, I agree that if it was created and designed, then that would point to a creator. I just don't think that it was created or designed. So what's your evidence that it was created or designed?
You know there was a builder. When you see you know there was a painter. When you see,
because I know where buildings and paintings and stopwatches come from, but I don't know where universes come from. It seems like they come from nowhere, actually. It seems like the universe has always existed.
I think it's easier to believe that it came from a creator. It's just the details and the design. You just said how a tree was designed to capture sun and to capture.
I never said that.
You just said it.
That's not. I wouldn't. I don't use design language when talking about biology.
Use the exact word design.
So I said that it has like a really cool like way about it that allows it to like stem out and branch.
Design is what you said.
I mean, if I use the word design, then I'm using that in like a colloquial sense, not in like it has the designer sense. I don't know if I said I don't know if I used the word design. I may have, but I don't mean like design as in like something made by a designer. I mean like just the way it is.
Okay. I mean, that's my strongest belief.
Yeah. So why do you think that the universe is designed?
I believe the universe was designed because I believe that there was a creator who created it and designed it. I have a really hard time believing that.
I'm asking you why.
Because it's what makes sense to me.
And why does that make sense?
Because it makes more sense to me to believe that than to believe that this all just happened by random chance.
Well, it could have just all happened via the laws of physics.
Yeah, it could have. It sure could have happened via completely random chance. It's
not really random chance. When I drop the pen, it doesn't fall by random chance.
It falls by the laws of physics. But I'm saying, like animals and the reproductive system and the way that trees grow and drop seeds. I don't believe all of this came to be by random chance. I don't believe life came to be by random chance. I believe that it was designed and created by a designer and a creator.
Yeah, so if life was designed and created by a designer and creator, why did he do such a bad job of it? I mean, 75% of our DNA is just completely useless. It doesn't get expressed at all. Additionally, if he did design all these animals, then he's just kind of evil, because lots of these animals have mechanisms to them that are just evil. For example, there's like a type of cat in the Amazon rainforest that literally mimics the sound of a crying baby monkey to lure monkeys over so it can like eat the monkeys. That's like super evil. Why would God ever design something as sadistic as that?
I don't get why you think that that's evil. That cat.
Why is it evil for the cat? Like, why is it like pretty sadistic and weird for the cat to make like crying baby monkey noises to eat a monkey?
If you think this is evil, I hunt coyotes and I will use several different sounds, but one is like a rabbit in distress sound, and it'll lure the coyotes in, and I will kill the coyotes in order to stop the coyotes from eating my grandpa's cattle. Is that evil for me to do that?
Probably not, but I think that the mechanisms there are going to be different.
I'm
Insofar,
killing so that I can eat that.
wait. Insofar as like when the cat in the Amazon does it, it's literally trying to prey on the like taking care of babies instinct, whereas when you do it, you're trying to prey on its predator instinct. So I think that these things are just different. Like I think it's like uniquely, like really weird. To create like the sound of like a crying baby monkey to lure monkeys in.
There's also baby coyote noises. Like I have 100 different sounds. Some are crows, but they're all.
Yeah, I probably would say that the baby coyote noises are like pretty weird.
It works. It'll draw the mother in. And
I'm just saying, like, why would God design it such that? Why would God design carnivores at all? Insofar as the only way carnivores live is by unaliving other things in like vicious and grotesque ways, that the lion's only capable of surviving by skinning 10 gazelles alive a day.
I'm going to try my best to answer your question, but I don't believe I am in a spot to answer why God does things. I don't think that's my place to say this is why God does this. It's not my place to tell him what I think he should do, but I will try my best to answer your question. I believe God created predators because there was
carnivores, but not just predators, but carnivores. Why would God make carnivores?
That have to eat other things to live.
Yeah.
Eat other living things, not just plants.
Yep.
Eat other animals to live. There was an island, and the only thing on this island, you can look this up, was reindeer. And at first, the reindeer population was flourishing. The population was skyrocketing. There was a really healthy, wonderful reindeer population, and they were the only animals on this island. And then they ran out of all their food. And the reindeer population slowly started to decline. They became less healthy, and all the reindeer on that island eventually died. You can look it up. It's a real thing. It actually happened. So I believe that predators were created in order to maintain a balance within the ecosystem.
Wait, so how would predators have stopped this? Because it sounds like there was just like the plants were just simply not growing back. So how would the predators have made the plants grow back?
The predators would have eaten the things eating the plants.
Yeah, but how would they have made because so insofar as the plants are still getting eaten, eventually the plants are going to run out.
The plants.
So how would the carnivores replant the plants? And I mean, can't God just provide more plants?
Sure.
Couldn't God just provide mechanisms such that something like this never happens? That he just provides he makes everything like a vegetarian so that there's no suffering involved in eating. And then you just create enough food such that never happens. Why couldn't God just do that?
Why couldn't God make everyone a vegetarian and then just grow enough food?
Everything a vegetarian and then just have enough food.
Have enough and just make enough food. That's a great question that I don't have the answer to.
It just seems like if God did design it, that the way he designed it causes just a ton of suffering unnecessarily.
We also live in a broken and fallen world.
So you're saying that you think that the coyotes didn't evolve to be that good at hunting, that God just happened to make them, and then in the fall they just became good at hunting?
I believe God made them in order to have to eat meat in order to live.
So why would God do that?
In order so that all the things that don't eat meat don't kill off all the plants, like what happened on that island.
So why wouldn't you just make it such that the plants can just get repopulated through various mechanisms?
They do. Plants do get repopulated.
Gotcha. Wait, so then how did the die-off happen?
Because they were eating the plants faster than they were growing back.
Oh, but that wouldn't lead to a die-off because...
Yes, it would.
It absolutely wouldn't lead to a die-off. Insofar as the way that the mechanisms in that scenario are going to work out is that some of them are going to starve off, but there's going to enter a steady state that whatever the supply of plants is going to be able to sustain whatever the reindeers are, that there's going to become like an equilibrium point. That's just true mathematically.
Well, no, that's not true. Whenever
This is like literally a mathematical truth. It's in the field called differential equations. You can just look this up.
My parents had pigs that they put into a pen. The pigs destroyed all of the plant life in that pen, uprooted everything, and no more plants were going to grow back into that pen unless the pigs were removed for a very long time.
Yeah, cool. Wait, so then why wouldn't God make it such that these mechanisms were easier and that the plants grew back quicker?
I can't answer as to why. I told you this before. I can't answer as to why God does the things that he does.
But you agree that God could have done that, in which case it would have prevented all of the suffering that was present here.
And their suffering was introduced whenever man sinned against God.
That's not true. We know that just like from the fossil record that that's not the case. That things were eating each other from long before humans existed. Do you think that the T-Rex was like a vegetarian?
I don't believe the T-Rex was a vegetarian.
So there was suffering before humans existed.
I don't believe the suffering of animals is even relevant. I believe we are created in the image of God.
Do you think that animal abuse is bad?
Yeah, I think if someone abuses their dog, then yes, that's bad.
Yeah, is it bad when God abuses an animal?
I don't believe that God abuses animals.
But he created the conditions for all of this like grotesque animal suffering.
In what way are animals suffering under the way God created the earth?
Yeah, just because he created carnivores. So there's animals that can literally the only way that the lion is capable of surviving is by inflicting like a grotesque amount of pain. Like imagine how much it sucks to be a gazelle getting eaten by a lion. That sounds like a miserable experience. And the lion has to do that like multiple times a day. Otherwise it'll die.
They don't have to do it multiple times a day. One gazelle will last them a lot longer than a day. But anyway, it's so gazelles don't just overpopulate everything and destroy their food source.
Why couldn't God have made it the case that their food source doesn't get destroyed and that their population doesn't expand?
I can't tell you why God didn't do something.
So let me get this clear. So this is a piece of data that under your worldview makes absolutely no sense, but under my view has like a very clear explanation.
What do you mean under my worldview it makes no sense? What in my worldview?
That you're not capable, that all you can say when I confront you with this piece of data, like the problem of animal suffering, is to shrug your shoulders and say, well, I don't really know. Whereas under my worldview, this makes perfect sense. The reason why we have a suffering mechanism is to prevent us from getting like eaten or like unalived by some other mechanism. So if under the evolutionary framework, this all makes perfect sense. But under your framework, this is like extraordinarily cruel. This is an extraordinarily cruel way to design animals.
I don't believe I just believe it's the way that things are.
Yeah, why would God make it that way?
I don't know why you keep asking me why would God make it that way when you believe that you have a better way of doing things than God does.
Absolutely.
I don't believe I have a better way of doing things the way God does, so I'm not going to question the way that he does things.
Well, gotcha, but you have a critique of my way of doing things? Otherwise, we have good reason to think that my way of doing things is better than God's way of doing things.
To me, a human that does not have the understandings of God, what you're saying, sure, like it makes sense. It would be great. Like it sounds fine. Like it really does. I don't have a problem with it. But me and your understanding is nowhere near the same as his, so we have no basis of asking why he did things.
How can you expect me to respect this conception of a God who just doesn't fit any of our moral intuitions at all?
He doesn't fit any of your moral intuitions at all?
No, intuitively, the decision to make it this way as opposed to a way that doesn't involve animal suffering is quite immoral. So why would God do something that's quite immoral?
Why are you animal suffering? Animal suffering is your basis for not believing in God.
I have lots of bases for not believing in God. It's one of the most compelling problems of evil, in my opinion. There's not a good answer. There's no good explanation for why God would make carnivores.
I mean, the best reason I have is, and again, I can't argue with God as to why God did things the way he did them, but my best reasoning is if there were only vegetarians, then all the plants would die because they would all get eaten and they wouldn't grow back fast enough.
Yeah, and I'm telling
the
you that
pigs
God
in
could have
my
just
pen,
made
they
it like a
ate.
completely different way. So that would have been chill if God just made it a different way. That's what I'm looking for.
He did make the garden that Adam and Eve had complete
Yeehaw!
reign
Thank you
to.
so much, Lil.
They had complete, they could eat from whatever tree they wanted to, whatever fruit they wanted to, except for this one. And they could have done that for as long as they lived.
Why would
They
God
chose
make creatures
sin
need to
against
eat
God.
it all?
Ian, I don't have an answer for that.
It just seems like you could have prevented, like, could have solved the entire problem if you just did that.
If he just made people where they don't have to eat.
You just made, like, everything such that it didn't need to eat to survive. Would have solved, like, all starvation. Would have solved the problem of animal suffering with carnivores. Would have solved so many things.
And I don't know. What it seems to me like you're doing is you want to skirt and find ways around disproving God. And one, I don't believe you can 100% certainly prove that God exists. I believe there is an aspect of faith and belief because God says so many times that it takes faith to please him and that faith will be granted to you as righteousness. I believe you're never going to be able to prove God exists. But I believe you want to nitpick all of these ways to disprove him instead of focusing on the key belief that I am a sinner saved by grace.
Joshua, thank you so much for the $10 on Cash App. Plant Eaters for Christ. W Joshua in the comment section. I appreciate that. Huge W Joshua. Thank you so much for the $10. This just seems like preaching. Seems like we're pivoting away from the problem of animal suffering, which is fine. It's okay to not have an answer to the problem of animal suffering. No one has an answer to the problem of animal suffering.
Other animals to eat. I don't have an answer for why animals.
Yeah. Wait. So do you have? Because I don't. So why would God want us to believe in him based on faith rather than evidence?
Because he wants us to believe in him based on faith, because if he split the sky open and just showed everybody, hey, I'm here, then it wouldn't take any kind of faith to believe in him.
So he wants faith because otherwise you would have no faith?
He wants you to have confidence in him. He wants you to seek him.
I'd have more confidence in him if he just like opened up the sky and said, hey, what's up, I'm God.
That would take zero faith.
And then why does he want faith?
Again, I can't preach to why God is the way he is.
I'll give you a reason why it makes no sense that he wants faith. Specifically because if God wants a relationship with each and every one of us, relationships are strong when you know that the other person actually exists. I can't form a relationship with a girlfriend if I don't know that she exists. I can't form like a relationship with like a boss or a coworker if I don't know that they're actually real. Faith is not a foundation, a sufficient foundation for a actual deep, meaningful relationship. But if I know that God exists, then I can feel confident that this is not a waste of time, that I am doing something valuable in my time when I pray. So why would God want me to have faith when a relationship with him would be so much stronger and deeper if I knew for a fact that he existed?
If you knew for a fact that there was an almighty, all-powerful, all-loving God of the universe, then if everyone knew that for a fact, then everyone, it would turn us all into almost robots. We would have
In what way?
We would have no.
Corgi, thank you so much. Or Lil, thank you so much for the corgi. W Lil in the comment section. Wait, do you think the apostles were robots?
No.
Gotcha.
No.
So knowing that God exists in your worldview doesn't make people into robots.
I believe that if there was absolutely no doubt, then it would almost be like God forcing himself onto us and forcing him to love us. If you have this girlfriend, and you point a gun to her head and force her to love you, she doesn't love you.
Nobody's pointing a gun at anybody's head.
I'm saying
the only
if
thing that
God
exists
split
is
the
like
sky-
you can't form a relationship with somebody if you don't know they exist. I can't form a relationship with God if I don't know that he exists.
And the reason
Relationships are going to be stronger if you know that the other party exists. Now, when God reveals himself, there are some atheists who say that, I wouldn't believe in God even if he were real. And, I think that that's the wrong position. So if God revealed himself, there would be some people who would accept him and some people who would not accept him. It wouldn't reduce you into a robot. And of course, if you would think that that God exists.
I believe that if God revealed himself to the planet today, there would not be, I believe every knee would bow, every tongue would confess.
And is that not what you want? Do you not want every knee to bow and every tongue to confess?
I do. And God is going to do that.
So that's what you want. So why is it a bad thing? Why does God not want that?
When that time comes is when judgment's going to come, and it's going to be too late.
Yeah, wait, but why doesn't God want everyone to worship him?
God does.
Oh, so then why doesn't God reveal himself to make everyone, or to encourage everyone to worship him by revealing his existence?
When he reveals himself in all of his
Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Grimlock, W666, W Satan, Hail Satan. I appreciate it. Big W Grimlock in the comment section.
And the perfect judge is going to judge everyone in his way.
But I'm just asking, why would God not want everyone to just believe in him and worship him?
He does.
Okay, then why doesn't he do the thing that would allow that circumstance to come about?
If he splits the sky open, it's not belief, it's just knowing.
But knowing is a type of belief.
Belief is different than knowing.
Yeah, wait, so I believe that 2 + 2 = 4, and I also know that 2 + 2 = 4. So if we look at the definition of no, like the philosophical definition of no, the standard one at least, there's problems with this, like don't eat me alive, Phil Bros, but the standard philosophical definition of no is a justified true belief. To know something means that you have a belief in it. So you would both know that God exists, but that would require you believing in it.
If I put my car under a shelter, it's because I believe it's going to hail. I don't know for a fact it's going to hail. There is a difference between belief and knowing.
So some beliefs are not knowledge, but all knowledge is belief.
All knowledge is evidence.
So a false belief, like say the sky is red, you can believe the sky is red. You just don't know that because it's not true. However, if you believe that 2 + 2 = 4, and you can also know that 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, you can have false beliefs.
Yeah, so all knowledge is a type of belief, but not all beliefs are a type of knowledge.
All knowledge is a type of belief, but not all beliefs are a type of knowledge. I think I can agree with that. I don't have a problem with that.
So then, what's the problem with God revealing himself then?
Because then it's too late to have a relationship with him.
I feel like that would make relationships stronger. My relationships with people who I know exist are much stronger than my relationships with people who I don't know exist. In fact, all of my relationships that I have are with people who I know exist.
God has given you plenty of evidence to believe in his existence.
Such as?
Such as the Bible, such as the prophecies being fulfilled.
Which ones?
Jesus fulfilled 300 prophecies, man.
He definitely didn't.
He definitely did.
Yeah, name one.
But some of them are not believable to you. Like being born of a virgin. To an atheist, I can see how if you don't believe there's a God, then you can believe that didn't happen. But others
could you name even one of the 300? One prophecy that he fulfilled?
Riding in on a donkey, being turned in for silver. I can name a couple of them. I sure can't.
Yeah, wait. So do you know what the original verse is about, like riding in on a donkey?
No, I don't. But I know
Gotcha.
that was an Old Testament prophecy that Jesus did fulfill.
Okay, wait. So I'm just but I would need to, in order to verify that, I need to actually see the verses, like the verse where it says like the Messiah will do this, and then the verse where it says Jesus did that.
It's in there. I promise you. Can just Google it. What Old Testament verse prophesied Jesus will ride in on a donkey, and it'll be there for you.
Oh yeah, but I'm just like I don't have my computer on me, so would you mind like helping me
If I
out?
leave to go to Safari, will I still be in here? Because I'll do it.
If you don't have the verse on hand, then we'll just have to probably just like move past it. But what's the evidence that the Bible is true?
Again, it takes a certain aspect of belief and just a certain aspect of faith, but there are also Old and New Testament things that people didn't know existed, they didn't believe existed. The Bible says they're there. People start digging them up. Sure enough, it's there.
That sounds like super cool, but so you're saying that in order to believe in the Bible, you already need to have like faith in the Bible, but of course faith is a type of belief. So in order to believe in the Bible, you already need to believe in the Bible.
In order to believe in the Bible, yes, you need to believe it. But the Bible gives you
So the only
reason and
way,
evidence
so
to
unless I already believe in the Bible, there's no way for me to believe in the Bible.
Well, you can believe in the Bible because like I said, like there are things, like there are cities and there are towns that people had no clue that they existed. The Bible said that they are there, so they go and look, they start digging it up, and sure enough, that city or town is right there where the Bible said it was thousands of years ago. The Bible has proved itself to be historically accurate.
That's not true though, because there's like the historicity of especially the Old Testament is horrific. Like Exodus straight up didn't happen. Evolution pretty thoroughly debunks like the Adam and Eve story. The flood super didn't happen as well.
Evolution's just a theory.
Not in the sense that you're using the word theory. So evolution is a theory in the same way that saying that it's a theory that the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Like it's possible that the sun's not going to rise tomorrow. We just have billions of years to the contrary.
The sun will not rise.
What?
There is going to be one day that the sun will not rise.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if your theory, like tomorrow, you probably think the sun's gonna rise. It's possible that the sun doesn't rise. It's possible that we're wrong about that. But the fact of the matter is that we have billions of years of evidence to make us think that that's not the case.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but
yeah, that's the same thing with evolution. We have just like an unbelievable amount of evidence that evolution is true.
I think you have an abundant amount of evidence that natural selection is true, but not necessarily evolution.
What do you mean by evolution? Which part of evolution do you not think is real?
That we came from single-celled organisms.
God, I'm so glad you didn't say monkeys. Oh my God, I'm so glad you didn't say monkeys.
I don't.
What's the problem with us coming from single-celled organisms?
It just, I believe in natural selection. I do. I believe the evidence shows that natural selection is real, but I don't understand how natural selection can turn me from a single-celled organism into what I am today.
Yeah, you just need billions of years for that to happen. So the way it happened is so it went from a single-celled organism to like a multi-celled organism, but it might have had like 2 cells, maybe 3 cells. And then from this, it was advantageous for it to get even more cells. And in fact, if you go down really small, there's lots of things that are still 1 cell. There's lots of things that are 2 cells, lots of things that are like 3 cells. There's just a wide variety of things that are comprised of like a different amount of cells.
Correct me if I'm wrong. A single-celled organism, whenever it reproduces, it becomes 2 more single-celled organisms.
Yeah, just like splits.
1 + 1 more. I can't think of a time when a single-celled organism reproduces and becomes a multi-celled organism.
So you started off as a single cell?
I start off as a single cell?
Yeah, that's how humans start off.
It's 2 cells.
No, because they come together to be 1 cell, unless my biology is just completely wrong.
I don't know if you're... there's a sperm cell, there's an egg, which I'm pretty sure an egg
Yeah,
is
they come together to form a zygote.
Which is more than 1 cell.
I thought it started off as just 1 cell, but maybe am I wrong? Is this chat? Is this real?
I'm not a science man. You might be right. I don't know.
Okay, wait. I'm just waiting for the biology people. Okay, yeah. Zygote is one cell, is what people are saying.
It's considered one cell.
Yeah, it's one cell. It starts off as one cell, and then it just like divides into more. So we actually all start off as one cell and then become multicellular. What?
I don't understand. I believe that God knits us together in His womb because that's what He says He does, or in our mother's womb because that's what He says He does.
That would be weird insofar as 70% of pregnancies end in miscarriage.
Yeah, and man,
wait, is that a real verse? Because if that's a real verse, oh my God, this problem of evil just came online like crazy. That God knits us in the womb.
God knits us together in our mother's womb. I'm pretty sure that's a real verse. I'm pretty positive. I've heard that a million times. If that's not a real verse, then man, I've been lied to.
If that's a real verse, then you have like a huge problem of evil on your hands.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, just that because 70%, if you're pro-life, then 70% of miscarriages or 70% of pregnancies end in miscarriage, which means that God would be responsible for unaliving or for like not properly knitting in the womb like 400 billion babies. So why would God like unalive 400 billion babies?
All right, Ian, I have a feeling you're not going to like this, but God kills everyone. Right? He's gonna kill me, whether it's in a car crash today or of old age when I'm 90. He decides when and where everybody dies.
Okay, so do you think when somebody like was unalived in the Schmolocaust, was that God who decided that?
Yes.
So did God decide that the Schmolocaust was going to happen?
I'm not going to say he decided. I'm definitely going to say he knew.
But if he decided the way that these people would be unalived, how could he decide the way that how could he decide that they were going to be unalived in the Schmolocaust if he didn't decide that the Schmolocaust was going to happen?
I have
How's
a
that
problem
possible?
with me saying God decided to do something, because I'm not going to put myself into saying what God did, because again, we live in a broken world where sin separates us from God, and the Schmolocaust contained a lot of sin. So I'm gonna say this about the Schmolocaust. The Jewish people have been persecuted so much, and God calls the Jewish people His own people. I worship a Jew named Jesus.
Dexter, thank you so much for the 5-cent subscriptions. W Dexter in the comment section. Yeah, that's fine. But what's so? I'm sorry to cut you off, but the question is just: how is it possible for God to decide that someone's going to be unalived in the Schmolocaust, unless God is the one deciding that the Schmolocaust is going to happen? That just doesn't make sense otherwise.
There might be a greater reasoning behind the Schmolocaust. As much as I don't see it and I don't like what happened,
but doesn't that just feel crazy?
I can't speak to His way. God is crazy. He's powerful. He's wonderful. He takes the lowest people in society and uses them to serve His purpose. He is crazy.
I just think that's like just an insane bullet to bite. I don't know. The Schmolocaust was like really bad, actually. And if God, I don't think that there was any higher good here. I don't think that we needed the Schmolocaust to know that the Schmolocaust was bad.
Man, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I believe that God can bring about anything into bringing Him glory, and because that's the goal, is to bring glory to God. The goal is not, as a Christian, the goal is not our own happiness. The goal is to, and it's not our pleasure. It's not what can God do for us. It's how can we please Him and glorify Him. And I believe there is a way to bring about glory. And the only reason I believe is because the God that I believe in is so powerful, but I believe that he can take something like that and turn it and use it for his glory.
By taking the lives of 6 million people who believed in God?
All right.
Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Grimlock, W666, W Satan, Hail Satan.
I'm sure you haven't watched The Chosen. It's the story of Jesus. It's on Netflix and probably other things too.
Definitely haven't. No.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have anything else for me? Otherwise, I'll probably move on to the next guest.
I was gonna explain the killing for you, or
for the Schmolocaust,
or I was gonna try and give you my point of view on it. I'm not gonna say why God did it, but this is kind of my point of view on it. There's a character, and his name's James, and he has a really hurt leg, and James asked Jesus to heal him, and James has faith that Jesus can do it, and Jesus says, how much greater is your faith if you still believe in me and I don't heal you? How much greater is your faith if I don't save you from the Schmolocaust, yet you still believe in me and worship me?
But this just leads back to the problem of why would God want faith when it's so much better to build a relationship on actually knowing that the other person exists. I can't start a relationship with a girlfriend whose existence I believe in based on faith. I need to actually know that the other party in a relationship exists.
You see God in his full glory the way that you are today, and the same thing applies to me. If I see God in his full glory the way that I am today, I will drop down in shame because of my sin, and I will have no choice but to worship the living, almighty, powerful God. I will have no choice at all.
And why is that? Why is it bad for everyone to worship God?
It's not bad for everyone to worship God.
So then what's the problem with everyone dropping to their knees and worshiping?
God wants us to have a choice. He wants us to want to worship.
So wait, why can't we? Why? But it's not a choice though, because I don't know that he exists. It's not fair to say that there's like a choice there if I literally don't know that he exists. I'm not making the choice to not believe in him. Beliefs are involuntary. You can't choose to believe things. Like I can't choose to believe that 2 + 2 = 5, no matter how hard I try. It's not a choice to not believe in him. There's just no evidence.
There is plenty of evidence, man. And if you really wanted to look for it, you could get on here and debate people that disagree with the Christian beliefs. And you are so smart. You could, if you really wanted to find that evidence, the same way you have tried to find evidence against God, you could be such a great fighter for God instead of wanting to fight against him. But you choose.
I don't want to fight for him because I have no reason to think he's real.
You have that choice. You choose not to.
Listen, if there ever comes a time and day when I think that God is real, then I'd be happy to switch teams and start defending God or whatever and get really well read up on like apologetics or whatever. But until that day comes, I'm all right.
The God is not going to 100% prove himself to you. And when he does,
why not?
Because you will have no choice but to worship him, and he wants you to choose him.
But I can't choose him because beliefs are involuntary. You can't choose what you believe.
You can choose what you believe.
So wait, would you mind choosing could you choose to believe that 2 + 2 = 5 right now?
No, but I can choose to believe that God exists even though I don't have 100% proof.
Wait, so why can't you choose to believe that 2 + 2 = 5?
Because it doesn't. If I hold up 2 fingers on one hand and hold up 2 on the other, then I'm holding up 4 fingers.
Do you currently believe that there's like a cow in the room next to you?
I know there's not.
Oh, okay, wait. Could you choose to believe that there's a cow in the room next to you? You're choosing to believe it?
I would have more evidence for God than I would have more evidence that there's a cow in the room, but sure, I could choose to believe it.
I don't think you can. I disagree with that, like fundamentally. I don't think that you can. I don't think that you get to choose your beliefs. I think that you believe specific things. That's just like true via neuroscience. That it seems like the parts of our brain that are related to like forming beliefs are pretty disconnected from the parts of our brain that are related to like decision making. That we can't just like choose to believe something. But that's just not how beliefs
You can
form.
choose to believe in something that the evidence is not 100% one way or the other. I can believe it's going to rain
But
tomorrow.
I think it's like very heavily. I think it's like very heavily not one way or the other, and it's like I think it's very heavily against God. The fact that there's people who would be open to a relationship with God if he existed. I'd love to have a relationship with God if he were real. Problem is, I don't know he's real, and I can't form a relationship with someone if I don't know that they're real.
He's not going to tell you 100% for certain that he is real. Because you have no other choice.
I don't have a choice to believe in him in the first place. I can only believe in something based on evidence. That's how beliefs are formed.
He's given you evidence. He has.
I just don't see it. But do you have anything else for me, or should I? We've been talking for a while. Do you have anything else, or should I move on to the next guest?
We stayed calm. We kept our emotions.
Yeah.
We debated
No,
facts,
you were
we
chill. You did a
facts.
great job, actually. You did much better than like most theists.
Well, thank you, man. I pray God reveals himself to you in a way that makes you believe in him, but not in a way where it's too late for you. I really do.
Yep. Well, appreciate you coming on up here.
Yep. Have a good one.
Yep, you as well. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Yeah, I really like that guest. Dude was pretty cool. Make sure you are double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 125k likes. If everybody left 10 likes right now, we would already be there. Do it, or I'm gonna get really angry. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends. Drop in a follow as well if you never want to miss a debate like this in the future. Make sure you're or if you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly -Ian and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, 90 Kid. Both are in my bio. Appreciate it. If you're 18 or older and you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I really like my Discord. We talk about politics, religion, and philosophy. I love hanging out in the VC there. What's up, Alex? How's it going?
Hey, I just had a quick question. I'm actually a Christian, but I believe, religion is personal. But basically, you said at one time, I remember you said that you were a Christian.
Yeah.
So did you believe at one time?
Yeah, I believed it one time, and then somebody ran like a basic argument against it, and then it all came crumbling down. So as soon as I realized that it was illogical, I stopped believing in it.
True, but do you realize like that you still believed at one time? So don't you feel kind of like, I mean, I would
tricked,
honestly,
duped, lied to?
Like, you're a smart guy. I have a lot of respect for you. I'm not going to lie. Like, you are very smart. You have some good points, but I just think that God is so much bigger than us that we can't even comprehend his goodness. And so for me, like, I've sat around trying to not believe in God because like, I'm just like, because it's my own human flesh to just want to know everything, and it's perfectly normal to have to do what you're doing, right?
Well, wait. So why would God make us that way, though?
Because
in your world,
so if you let me ask you, if you had a company that you owned, that you started from the ground up, should you get paid more than all your employees, or should they?
I'm a really bad person to ask that question to, because I'd say probably not. I could make on the higher end of my employees. I'm fine making on the higher end of employees.
Okay,
should I make like vastly amounts more? Should I make like 20 times what my employees make? Absolutely not. No.
Should you make more? Period.
Maybe I should make like more on average. I think I should make money based on like my contribution to the company.
Yeah, but you started the company, right? So you get to make the majority of the money.
I don't agree.
Right?
I think that's not going to be true of me.
Okay,
Mike
well,
T, thank
I
you
would
so
say
much. Appreciate it.
For most people, that's the case, right? Let's just
Maybe.
go logically. You're just a really good person, obviously, and all goodness comes from. Anyways, my point is God didn't make us to fully concept him, because then he wouldn't be God.
Why?
I don't know. That's
Wait,
the question.
in what way would he not be God?
We cannot fully concept God because we are not supposed to.
Why would God not want us to?
Because we don't need to, because he catches us. That's
but it's just like full of logical contradictions. So the problem isn't that we can't understand God like fully. Problem is that we can't understand God logically. That in all of God's properties, there's just like a mountain of logical contradictions.
Yeah, I totally understand that and where you're coming from. I don't have long to talk because I'm at work, but I just want to say to you, man, logic is going to let you down. Okay.
I disagree. Logic's worked really well for me.
Yeah, and for me, like logic lets me down all the time because there's just things in my life, man, that I've experienced and gone through, and if it's just coincidence, cool. But like the other day, there was a guy on your line. I'm not going to take that 1% chance that I could be wrong and end up somewhere I don't want to end up after life. Like that's just me. I respect you. I think that you're a good guy. You're very intelligent. And I love listening to you because I'm open to opinions. But like, dude, if you're on the other side of the team, which is funny that you say that because it's not really a team. None of us good Christians like me, and we don't hate anybody who's different at all. And I appreciate you for not hating on us.
Well, that's chill.
That's huge,
I mean, if you
man.
don't hate anybody who's different, like I give you
I
kudos
don't
for
hate
that.
anybody. You know why? Because the last time I
Thank you
checked,
so much, Rockstar, or for the Manito for the Rockstar.
really
Appreciate
quick,
it.
and I gotta let you go. But I gotta say this: the last time that I checked, I cannot make anybody believe in anything. Okay, all I can do is believe what I am and what I do in my life. And when I die, it's going to be between me and Christ, is what I believe.
Certainly, you can make people believe things with evidence. You just present them with the evidence, and you ask them tough questions, and you get them to reevaluate their views.
My goal is not to force people to be Christians. That's never been my goal.
But you could, if you think that Christianity is true, you want more people to be in salvation, then you could convince people to obtain salvation. But that requires evidence.
True, but that's not me that's going to do that. It's going to be God through me.
Oh, that's fine. So then you could at least like make an argument or something. I'm very convinced by arguments. I changed my position on philosophy quite a bit. If I lose an argument really badly, I'll change my mind on like a philosophical stance. This happens all the time for me. If someone waxed me on the God debate, I'd come back the next day with a big background that said God is real. I swear to God, I would.
Yeah, and I know you would. I think you're wholehearted. You're just trying to figure it out, and that's normal. And that's a thing. Like, there's people that become Christians and then they go away. Oh, it wasn't real. And then they're on their deathbed and they're like, oh, wait, can you pray for me? And you're like, well, wait, you said you weren't a Christian. Like, you weren't a believer. What do you mean pray for you? And it's just like, everybody has their opinion, but I don't know, I don't know one thing that makes more sense to me than the Bible. It may not make more sense to anybody else, but I don't have to live their life. I'm here to live for God, and if He uses me as a vessel to touch other people, I'll do it.
I just feel like the touching other people would probably go better if you had like arguments. If you had like arguments or like evidence or like something somebody else could engage with. But I appreciate you coming on. Like, your words are very kind. But unless you have anything else for me, I'll probably just move on to the next guest.
Yeah. No, I got to go back to work. But I just want to say I love watching you, and have a good day.
Hey, thanks. You too. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get this live in front of as many people as we can. We made it to, let's get all the way up to 150. Everyone leave 20 likes right now. We'd already be there. What's up, Handy?
What's going on?
How old are you?
I see you quite a lot, my man.
Hey, how old are you?
I am 35.
Yeah, and what religion?
Christian. I was a minister for 15 years.
Gotcha. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
Ooh, without personal experience. Actually, I didn't know you were going to throw without personal experience. I can give you personal experience. Biblically speaking, have you ever heard of Guang Wu? Have you ever heard of that astronomer?
Like a Chinese astronomer?
Yeah, have you heard of him?
No.
So this is great evidence. So this is before Christianity reached into China. And actually, Guang Wu was an astronomer out of I think it's the Qin dynasty. You can look it up. But anyways, so he seen the eclipse in the sky regarding when Christ was dying without knowledge that was happening. He said it looks as if the yin and the yang has switched, And this is a great travesty relating to the day of the Lord. And they didn't believe in Jesus. They didn't have any representation. I don't even believe they had contact with Rome. But there was an astronomer right before him, I believe.
Wait, because because I already take issue with that. That's not possible insofar as the day Jesus was unalived is unknown. For example, the Gospels disagree when he was unalived, because according to Mark, Matthew, and Luke, it happened. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Skinsley. According to Mark, Matthew, and Luke, it happened on Passover.
It would have been
According
close
to
to
John.
Passover. Right.
According to John, it happened on Preparation Day. So insofar as the Gospels themselves disagree, I'm not sure how you can make claims about an eclipse happening at the same time as Jesus' execution.
So when we go back in history, we can pinpoint regarding to the astronomers that link the day of the eclipse, because we know the eclipse happened near near the Passover. It was a partial eclipse. And you can look this all up. Again, it's not just recorded in Jewish history, it's not just recorded in Roman history, but Chinese recorded it. And Guang Wu is his name. Check him out, seriously.
But I just don't see how that would overcome. Like, why do I care about this eclipse that happened on a day, like maybe kind of sort of around the day of Jesus' execution, when the day of Jesus' execution is unknown? It's debated.
Bible records that there was an eclipse, that it fell. As far as the skies grew dark, there was an earthquake, the shroud was torn. We know those events happened. And we know the location of the tomb, arguably, right?
What type of eclipse was it?
It was a partial eclipse, so it would have been a midday eclipse around 3 o'clock.
But did you say that it was a solar eclipse?
It would have been a solar eclipse, yeah. Again, we referred to a Chinese astronomer that had no direct link to the gospel.
Yeah, so that's a lunar eclipse.
A lunar is at night, I believe, right?
No, not necessarily.
That would have been it would have been 3 p.m.
Yeah, so a lunar eclipse is just when it comes in front of the sun, I believe.
So let me see here.
So
Anyway.
that would just be inaccurate.
No. You can go look up the event. It's an actual event. And
the eclipse would be wrong.
Why would the eclipse be wrong?
Because you think it's a solar eclipse, but it was a lunar eclipse.
How would you know it's a lunar eclipse and not a solar eclipse?
Because the sun got covered up. That's a lunar eclipse.
That's a solar eclipse, is it not?
No.
That's a solar eclipse. Lunar eclipses are at night. I'm almost 100% positive.
Am I tripping? Hold on. Give me... Let me just go get my computer really quick. Yeah, I guess I will get my computer for this one.
I can't look it up because I'm on my phone. While you're there, look up Guang Wu. This is super interesting. Listen, before I was a Christian, I was an occultist. So I know all the patterns, sort of, we followed the stars as pantheistic, esoteric sort of belief. And I even practiced into the keys of Solomon. So God got me out of that stuff.
The claim is that there was an eclipse that was...
It would have been 3 p.m.
Yeah, 3 p.m. on a day that was not the day of his execution, insofar as the day of his execution is contested.
That would have been the historic account, because we know the sky grew dark, so it had to be an eclipse. It had to happen in the natural. So you would have to look, it would have been to the, Passover, that sort of thing. And the representation that represents is the physical orientation that happened with Moses with the blood over the doorway. That's the physical representation of death.
Wait, let's not, because we're just like, we're being a bit of a gish galloping Gary right now. So let's just stick on one point at a time.
No, same point. So the spirit of death happened at night. And that everything's related, biblically speaking. So when we look at physical stories out of the Old Testament into the spiritual stories, so Jesus came down here, made it physical, coming into skin, flesh, whatever, physical. And then his whole purpose is to bring it back into the spiritual. Everything is a geometric pattern. It's biblically speaking. Any religion, actually. So with that being said, when Jesus died, the representation was the blood over your soul, your body, and the spiritual. That's what covers you. And it's the physical representation. That's why it happened on Passover. That's what I'm speaking on. And Passover.
Okay, wait. So would you mind? So just like summarize the eclipse one more time for me. So the argument is what?
So as far as the eclipse goes, excuse me, as far as the eclipse goes, he would have died. There was an eclipse that happened. Guang Wu, who was in China, this was the original thing I was stating, came out and without any relation recorded this in his pointing towards Christianity without any knowledge of what was going on in Rome or Jerusalem per se. So with that being said,
but what days? Because why do I care about an eclipse that happened like kind of around
because
the
that's
time?
the biblical account. If it proves that this is accurate, this is pointing towards historic content.
Guan Wu, astronomer?
He's an astronomer. I think it's out of the Qin dynasty.
Emperor Guan Wu of Han?
Maybe it's Han dynasty. But
wait, an emperor or is this an astronomer?
No, he was an astronomer. Is it coming up?
No, it's not coming up. Guan Wu, astronomer.
I have your stuff. I'll DM you all of this and we can go through it, check it out. But if you're
wait, but it just seems like you're making a claim that's like unsubstantiated.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't come on here with just a fake claim.
Wait, could you just provide a source of his saying that this happened?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm on my phone, so I can't pull the source. I'm on my computer now. Give me one, if you got a minute, or you could bring me up here. It's up to you.
1 sec, let me. This isn't an astronomer. You do mean the emperor of the Han dynasty.
Let me see.
This person is not an astronomer.
Let me see. I wonder. We have. Let me see.
When I look up Guang Wu, so it's not Guan Wu, it's Guang Wu.
Wu, yeah.
It's when I search up eclipse, I get nothing.
Let me see.
I get like a Reddit article and a Quora article.
There's the Quora article. I've read these before all this stuff, so I actually have to jump on here and look. There he is. Here's what it says. Yin and Yang have mistakenly switched, and the sun moon were eclipsed. The sins of all people are now on one man. Pardon is...
Wait, where does it say this?
Okay, so here it is. It is...
wait, according to which source are you reading?
Let me see what this is from. Eclipse on the day of God. Here, let me pull this up. It is History of the Later Han Dynasty, Volume 1, Chronicles of Emperor Guangwu, 7th year.
W. And where are you finding this? So, Volume 1?
Yeah, Volume 1, Chronicles of Emperor Guangwu.
Do you have like a PDF that you're looking at?
It's not a PDF. This is out of. Let me throw this in and see what this brings up. Let me see. Just see what Google brings up. It brings up those articles. There's a Wikipedia.
Yeah. So is this like the Book of Han?
Oh, my boy's coming over. I apologize.
That's okay. You're chilling. So Book of Han.
Let me see. Practicality. Crucifixion.
I doubt that it's I don't think that you want to go with Volume 1 insofar as it is about an emperor who lived from 206 to 195 BCE.
So you can go right up on eBay and you can buy the book. It's called The Han Dynasty. And this is actually a paperback. You can get it in anything, but it gives the Han Dynasty breakdown. That's what they're pulling this from.
Seems to not be the case at all.
That's what I'm pulling. at least from the direct reference. But anyways,
wait. But what's the name of the? What was the name of the book again?
The Han Dynasty.
The Han Dynasty.
Yeah, HAN Dynasty.
So just like the Book of Han.
The Book of Han. That's
and
what
you said. It's volume 1.
That's what it says. Yep.
How can it be volume 1 when volume 1 was about an emperor who lived from 206 BCE to 195 BC, or who ruled from 206 to 195, who ruled 200 years prior to Jesus? How is that possible?
Let me see here.
Because if that's what it says, then it says that quite a bit sooner than when you want it to.
History of this is what I'm pulling from directly. History of Later Han Dynasty, Volume 1, Chronicles of Emperor Guangwu 7th Year. And that's the exact quote from it. It says yin and yang, and this is referring to the day of that eclipse. And you can do some, if you want. It's up to you if you want to do more research into this. But I mean, I wasn't planning. I just seen you pop up on here. I was like, I'll see if you're available.
Yeah, wait. So because it just seems like this is like wholly unsubstantiated is the problem. Like, it seems like the volume 1 doesn't talk about this emperor. It seems like it came a long time before it. The Wikipedia page for this Book of Han mentions this emperor once, and it's not even like in any of the volumes. It's just that. What's the sentence here? It is recorded that in 57, the southern Wa kingdom of Na sent an emissary Tai Fu to pay tribute to Emperor Guangwu and received a golden seal.
Come on.
It just doesn't seem like it says any of this.
It does say it. It absolutely does, because it's quoted right from the book.
Wait, quoted where? Where is it quoted?
I just gave you where it was quoted. Let's see here. I already... The History of Latter Han Dynasty, Volume 1, Chronicles of Guangwu 7th Year.
Oh, wait, Justin, do you have something about this?
Yeah, university in Pennsylvania, it's the University of Lehigh, in their history department, they actually did a chart of all of the eclipses recorded from the Han Dynasty. That is available. And the only eclipses recorded were 3 years prior to his death and 7 years after.
Ooh, that's new to me.
Daddy, this is the great present.
That is new to me. Where'd you get that reference from? So I can actually look into it.
It's in a history journal published by the University of Lehigh in Pennsylvania.
Do you have a year on that so I can look up the exact, so I can just align? Because I don't want to be teaching something.
If you're on Google, you can find it in 10 seconds.
Okay, wait, I can find the article for you. If my computer would load, which would be pleasant. Oh yeah, this is by David W. Penkineer.
That's it. It's the one.
Oh yeah, here it is. So it's titled "On the Reliability of Han Dynasty Solar Eclipse Records" by David W. Penkineer, Department of Modern Languages and Literature, Lehigh University.
It's also true that NASA has calculated all of the eclipses going back based on planetary motion and whatnot, and they actually have graphs and maps and dates for all of the solar and lunar eclipses in history based on calculation and corroborated with literature. And there was no solar eclipse anywhere near Jerusalem close to those years. There was, however, a lunar eclipse.
Oh, okay.
The lunar eclipse is when the moon goes behind the Earth and the shadow of the Earth is blocking the moon from being visible. But that would not cause the sun to go dark. That would just cause the moon to not be visible.
Right. That's why we were saying at the beginning whether it was solar or
lunar. It's also true that based on the typical path that a solar eclipse would travel, it's highly unlikely that an eclipse in Jerusalem would be visible in China.
So where is this being pulled from? Do you know the reference that I'm referring to?
I know the reference you're referring to doesn't exist. It's mythological, just like Jesus.
So it's not in the Volume 1 Chronicles of Emperor Guangwu, 7th year. Is that mythical? Full
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
Wait, Justin, have you heard this one before?
I've heard parts of it. This is the first time I've heard somebody actually go looking for something that they think it exists. Usually they quote it, and then they don't actually know the full name of it because they read it on Reddit somewhere. But the
Gotcha.
book he's referring to does not exist.
Does not exist. So the Chronicles of Guangwu don't exist. I'm getting that correct, right?
Oh, no, there are chronicles of these emperors, but the specific book you're referring to doesn't exist. And the ones that do exist that are somewhat similar aren't in English, so you're not going to find it.
There's English translations, absolutely. It's like any
That's why
historic text. They have mixes.
you will not find this book anywhere.
Well, now I'm on a hunt.
Yeah.
NASA has already calculated when the eclipses would have happened and where they would have been visible from, and you can find that on the NASA websites. So even if you don't have independent verification, our math is good enough to know we know where the eclipse would have been visible from. They even publish charts on the path of each eclipse as it happened.
Yeah, but have you considered this one commenter who says NASA equals lies? Have you evaluated that, Justin?
Yeah, it's a mischaracterization of the Hebrew word because the Hebrew word they're referring to.
I didn't even know it went that deep.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's not legit. So the Hebrew word you're looking for is nasha. It's Nasha, and that's a whole different middle consonant. You want nasa. You're mistaking a sheen for a scene.
Yeah, and I've heard people say this too. It's like, is it relating like a verb out of it that has multiple meanings?
No, you're just using the wrong letters because people don't know the actual Hebrew.
The actual verb. I got you. I've heard people say it, but I never.
Yeah. Well, do you got anything else? Otherwise, I'll probably move on to the next guest.
No.
No, that's super. I've never heard this one before. It's like one of
It's a good one.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
I'm going to jump on. Anyways, have a good day.
Yeah,
and,
you as well.
I'll be back on.
Yeah, you as
Here
well.
you go.
Yep. Appreciate it, Justin. You're welcome to stay up if you want. It's up to you. Oh, okay. Well, W Justin in the comment section. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 160k likes. We can do this. I believe in us. We got this. I believe in us. We can do this. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly -Ian and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Both of them are in my bio. Appreciate any and all support. In my bio, I would love to see you there. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, how old are you?
27.
Yeah, and what religion?
Christian, baby.
Okay, so what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
What's your strongest argument that God is not real?
Okay, I think the existence of non-resistant non-believers is a really strong argument against God. That there's all these people who would totally be willing to have a relationship with God if they knew he existed, but they don't. So they can't have a relationship with him because the evidence that God is real is just not out there.
Okay, what evidence are you talking about? Like all the scientific evidence and shit?
No, that there's no evidence that would lead a person to believe that God is real, like rationally on the face of it, that all the evidence like falls apart to scrutiny. So we have these people, these like non-resistant non-believers, and they would love to form a relationship with God, but they can't because they only want to form a relationship with someone who they know exists. For example, I can't form a relationship with a girlfriend who I hope exists. I need to know that she exists. Similarly, I can't form a relationship with a God who I have faith exists. I need to know God exists. So the fact that these people exist is weird because they want a relationship with God. They just need to know that he exists. And God, presumably, if he loves us, wants a relationship with them. So if both of these people want a relationship, then why do they not believe?
if these people want a relationship, why do they not believe? Maybe they're just lost, man. Maybe they've just been psyoped by the media into having atheist beliefs and not believing in God. Because my strongest argument is, do you think that you have like a spiritual connection with your parents, like the love that you feel from the
I don't believe in anything spiritual, so no.
Do you think it's like a spiritual connection, or do
No.
you think it's chemicals in your brain?
I think it's chemicals in my brain.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. That's a super easy bullet for me to bite. You can say really as much as you want. Yeah, I think that love is chemicals in the brain. That's just scientifically true.
Love is chemicals in your brain.
Do you have any evidence that it's like something different?
Like every experience that I've had with my mother, when I've gone into fights with her or me making up with her, I've always had that love of her.
Yeah, and I love my mom
It's
too.
I came out of her. It's not because I'm like her fucking friend. Or
Yeah, it's because we there's like a release of oxytocin and serotonin to make us feel close to our mothers, that comes via physical contact. That we share. Everyone has a deep love for their mom because of these love chemicals that are present in our brains. If you didn't have the love chemicals, then you wouldn't love your mom.
Okay, so with this whole chemical thing, so what about, dude, people who believe in this chemical thing, they get depressed and then they start taking fucking anti-anxiety medication, and then
They'd probably take antidepressants. I'm not sure why these depressed people are taking anti-anxiety medications. But
Antidepressants, whatever.
yeah, what's the problem with that? Also, I don't think that that's true. I don't think that it's the case that everyone who sees like love as chemicals in the brain gets depressed. Because I see it that way, and I'm not depressed. And I know lots of other people who see it that way, and they're not depressed.
Who see that love as chemicals in the brain?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
That's just what all of modern medicine is based on. That's like all of neuroscience and all of psychiatry is based on the underlying assumption that our minds and like love and our emotions are just chemicals in the brain. That's the current scientific consensus right now.
Okay, so what about your imagination then?
What about it?
Where does imagination come from modern science?
So imagination is just produced by activation of different regions of the brain. There's a region of the brain that's dedicated to imagination. Do you want the name of it?
Yeah.
Okay, we can just look it up. Brain regions associated with imagination. The hippocampus and the amygdala. They're especially relevant to creativity and imagination.
Okay, and how do the hippocampus and amygdala produce those beautiful pictures that we envision in our head?
Oh, well, they just so the similar experience when we see something, they're just like running that in reverse.
Because when you said earlier you can't have a connection with the girlfriend thing. What did you say about the girlfriend thing? You said
I can't build a relationship with a girlfriend who I hope exists. I need to know that she exists. Similarly, I can't build a relationship with a God who I hope exists. I need to know that God exists. So if God wants me to form a relationship with him, and I'd be open to a relationship with God, then why wouldn't God just provide me with sufficient evidence to know that he exists? He could pop down for a millisecond, be like, hey, what's up? My name's God. It's very nice to meet you. I'm God. All right, bye-bye. And then I'd drop to my knees and I'd start praying.
Building the relationship part, bro, here's a life hack for everybody who wants to be in a relationship.
I should start negging God.
Just bro, use your imagination every day and imagine yourself being with the girl of your dreams, exactly what you want her to be like, and then she'll just come to you.
I don't think that that's true, but if you want some real advice, you should get a hobby and stop obsessing over it, and maybe you'll get some confidence with that. and you'll be more approachable.
Yeah, I guess that's base advice.
Yeah.
Earth is flat though, 1,000%.
Come on.
100%, dude.
I don't want to get sidetracked with this.
What about how the Christians describe the Trinity?
Oh, that's you don't want to
How it
do.
replicates everything in life.
You don't want to do the Trinity. The Trinity is so bad. It's so indefensible. Okay, wait. Is your name Casey or what's your name? You don't need to-
Casey.
Yeah, Casey. So I'm a person. You're a person. Danny's a person. We would have three people. Jesus is God. The Father is God. The Holy Spirit is God. We would have three gods. So you claim to believe in just one God, and yet there are three gods in your religion. How is that possible? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the most coherent explanation of the Trinity I've ever heard. I accept your surrender. Folded like a chair, scrambled like an omelet, reformatted like a hard drive, cooked like a souffle, baked like a baked potato, dunked like an Oreo. What are some more? Crushed like a can. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen though, or get your ankles absolutely shattered. You will never debate again. But yeah, double tap on that screen. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian, both in my bio. Appreciate any and all support. What's up, Seth? How's it going? I accept your surrender, Seth. Get absolutely folded like a chair. Obliterated. Not even close to being close. Not even far, if I'm going to be honest. Glim, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Fruited like a loop. That's crazy. All right, let's see. If you're 18 or older and you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's also discord.gg/allegedlyian. I tag you every time I go live, so you'll never miss a live. What's up, Ivy? How's it going?
Hello. I just want to say about the Trinity. So he probably didn't really explain it that
Wait,
well.
how old are you? Wait, can I ask how old you are?
18.
Oh, what year were you born?
2005.
Okay, gotcha.
But so how ice can be three different forms. It can be water, liquid.
Oh, this
and
is heresy,
solid.
by the way. This is called modalism. It's considered heresy. If this is your view of the Trinity, you're going to hell.
Sorry?
So the view that you're explaining is called modalism, and I agree. So I actually think that this is like the one view that actually does make sense. Unfortunately, the church says that it's heresy. So if you believe in this
but
view,
the
you're
thing
going to
with the
super
church-
hell.
Okay, there's a thing with the church there. The church and having a relationship with Christ is different. The church isn't for all of us Christians, though, is
That's
it?
fine. As long as you're willing to throw all of the church fathers under the bus, as long as you're willing to say like all the founders of the church were wrong, like every Christian is wrong.
Again, you're
as long
putting
as you're
more
willing to
words
say
into my
that,
mouth that I
then that
didn't
sounds
say.
good. You're more than welcome to believe in your genuinely kind of okay version of the Trinity. Except there are problems with it because so water, like a specific section of water can't be both ice and also like a puddle at the same time.
But it's like our body. Our body is our body, our soul, and our spirit. It's still three.
I
but it's
don't
all
believe in
one.
two of those things.
Okay, then why? Okay.
I don't believe in spirit
But,
or
okay,
soul.
it's hard to explain the Trinity because religions aren't simple and easy. But what I'm trying to say is that is my take on what the Trinity is. It's three things, but it's all at one. Not
Yeah,
everyone's
wait,
gonna
so
understand that.
I'm a person, you're a person, Danny's a person. We would have three people. Jesus is God, the Father is God, the Holy Spirit is God. We would have three gods. How is that possible? How is it possible
do
that you believe in
anything
one God
possible.
if we count three? 1, 2, 3.
Okay. I don't know what you want me to say because I personally think what you're doing right now is hella disrespectful, but it's your opinion.
Oh, I didn't ask. I'm just asking, like, how is it possible for you to claim that you believe in one God when we can easily count three?
Because it's not three different people.
Wait, you think that it's all one person?
Yes, because
So,
God is one person.
When Jesus was praying to the Father in the garden, you're saying that Jesus was asking himself for advice?
Okay, that one, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, it's the Trinity makes no sense. I'm telling you.
Okay, that's your belief in it, but you're gonna be in hell, not me, so.
Well, hell's not real, and I know hell's not real because the Trinity is not
But
real.
was
Let's
you not a
go.
Christian yourself there?
Hey, we'll both be in Islamic hell when Islam turns out to be true.
Was you not a Christian before?
I was a Christian before, yeah.
So what, like, when you was a Christian, was you a Christian because you were believing what other people were saying and you found it true? Or did you have a proper relationship with Christ?
Oh, I was a Christian because my parents dragged me to church every Sunday.
So then you wasn't a Christian.
You can say that if you want, but that's just cope. I mean, I went to the place, I did the little, like, rituals, I learned all the stories.
There's no ritual there, that's the thing. You can't.
There is rituals. You, like, sit down and you pray, and then they waste your time, so and you can't open your fucking Christmas gifts until you waste, like, 3 hours at fucking Christmas church. It's bullshit. I wanted to just get home and open gifts, but my parents were like, no, we gotta go to church first.
Okay, but that's what your parents have made you do there. You can't claim that you're a Christian if you didn't have the proper relationship with Christ, because you can't go to heaven if you just go to church and you claim that you're a Christian. You need to have the relationship with Christ to be able to go to heaven.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you can cope in whatever way you want.
Hell is not when you're like hell is when you live your life separately from God. That's when you suffer.
Oh, that's fine. I just don't really care because I don't think God's real. So saying like God is when you're separated, or hell is when you're separated from God, I think that's always. God's not real. Daniel, thank you so much for the $6.66.
Because you believe that God isn't real.
W Daniel, W666, W Satan, Hail Satan. I appreciate that. Big W Daniel in the comment section. Yeah, what's up? What are you saying?
I'm asking you, even if you don't believe that God is real, tonight, you don't have to, I'm not forcing you to do anything, but tonight, just pray to Jesus and be like, if you're real, show me a sign that you're real.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
You can, okay.
Jesus, if you're real, show me a sign right now that you're real.
That's not.
Wait. Hold. I'm waiting for Jesus' response, please. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Ivy was really rude, but I am still interested in your response. So Jesus, if you're real, please show me a sign.
That's not going to get you far.
Well, hold on. You're talking over Jesus. Hold on. He was just about to speak. He was just going to talk. You don't even believe this.
You know damn well in your heart that you're not actually praying to Jesus.
I am praying to Jesus in my heart. I know in my heart that I am praying to Jesus. I am genuinely reaching out and asking him. You can psychoanalyze me if you want, but I'm telling you, it's real. It's genuine.
Cool. I respect your time. Thank you for having me on here.
Yep. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's try to get all the way up to 200k likes. We can do it. If everyone left, that's kind of an unreasonable number of likes to ask for. So like 35 likes. Excuse me. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly-Ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Get that many likes, or I'll cry. I'll cry right here. What's up, Stephanie? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Itachi. Doing well. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
Well, I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
I just came on here to explain God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
Gotcha. So let's do the Trinity some more.
3 separate gods when it's just one, and that's
and I'm saying that doesn't make any sense. So I'm a person, you're a person, Danny's a person. We would have 3 people in that instance. Jesus is God, the Father is God, the Holy Spirit is God. We would have 3 gods just by basic counting. So how is it possible that you believe in one God if we can very easily count 3 divine persons? In other words, 3 gods. Robert, thanks so much for the $2 on Cash App. Appreciate it.
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Okay, it's okay. Get your ball and go over there, please. Okay, it's going to leave you alone. Okay, so God created Jesus in his image, right? So he could come live in the flesh here on earth. So, I mean, you said you were a Christian. I don't know if you read the First Testament, correct? Have you?
Santiago, thank you so much. W Santiago in the comment section. Appreciate all of these. These are so cool. W Santiago, I appreciate all of these. Yeah, wait, but that doesn't explain how is it possible that we have when we easily count that we have three gods. We have the Father is a divine person, the Son is a divine person, the Holy Spirit is a divine person. That's three gods in the same way that, I don't know, Zeus is a divine person, Hera is a divine person, Athena is a divine person. That would be three gods as well. So it just seems like no matter how you slice it, there are three gods in your worldview.
There's not, though. There's just the one God, okay? The Holy Spirit is God who's everywhere and with us all the time.
So wait, we have the God who's with us everywhere all the time, and we have
That's his Holy Spirit everywhere. That's the omnipotent, omniscient
yeah. So we
part of God.
have the God that's everywhere. Yeah.
That's one God. He's the same God, and that's how he's able to be with all of us all the time and living inside of us.
Oh wait, so you only believe in the Holy Spirit?
No. The Holy Spirit is God.
Yeah. So that's the first God, and then but you believe in more than the Holy Spirit. So tell me about the Father.
God the Father sent the Holy Spirit for all of us.
Gotcha. Yeah. So do you think God sent himself?
Yes, that's how he's able to be with all of us all the time.
Gotcha. Wait, so God sent himself. So God sent Jesus, who's also himself.
Yes.
To pray to himself, to sacrifice himself to himself, to resolve us of our sins? Is that more or less correct?
God sent his spirit in the form of human, which is Jesus, to save all of us. Jesus was the only perfect human walking this earth, right? Because we're an evil and sinful person. And prior to Jesus, in the First Testament, if you've read that, not sure if you have, they were doing, blood sacrifices to God with animals, right? To cleanse their sins. But because we're such an evil and sinful people, there was not enough animals and enough blood to, sacrifice to him to save us. And that is why he sent himself in the form of a human, which is Jesus Christ.
Wait, but this is just preaching. I'm familiar with all of this. So is it one person or is it three persons?
Three persons, one God. They're all the
okay,
same.
wait. So three persons. So we have so God the Father sent God the Son, a different person.
Himself. He created himself.
Wait. So
he sent his spirit.
Are you the same person as yourself?
I'm not God.
But I'm asking you. So is
my
anybody?
Spirit, the spirit that
how
God
is
sent
it
me for me
possible
is
to
my
not be the
spirit.
same person as yourself? Everyone's the same person as themselves. That's trivial.
But none of us are God, so only God can recreate himself.
But you're saying that God's nonsense.
I'm not saying.
How does it make sense that anybody is not the same person as themselves?
Because none of us are God. Only God can do that. God created.
Wait. But what does that even mean to be a different person than yourself?
He was himself. He sent his spirit in the form of a human.
But the spirit is a different person. So if it's a different person, then it's not himself.
There's an infinite amount of God's spirit to be with all of us all the time.
But it's a different person than God the Father. So if we have God the Father, a divine person, God the Son, a different divine person, God the Holy Spirit, a third divine person, then we would have three gods. In the same way that we have Zeus is a divine person, Poseidon is a divine person, Hermes is a divine person. We would have three gods in that situation. So no matter how you slice it, you have three gods.
It's not three gods, and you know that. I know deep in your heart, like you know that you're just trying to be rebellious. Like I feel like you're in rebellion to God.
If you have three persons, then it's three gods.
It's not three gods, and you know that.
I don't know that.
You do know that.
Wait, so is God a person?
God is a person.
Gotcha. Wait, so is God just one person or is God three persons?
God's three in one.
But is he so he's both three persons? So do you think 3 equals 1?
Bro, God was around before math. Like, be for real. Like, you in your heart, you know God is real.
I certainly don't know that God's real, and this conversation is convincing me even deeper that he's not real, because this is just nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
Do you think 3 equals 1?
In God's case, yes, it does.
Oh, so in order to believe in Christianity, you need to affirm that 3 is equivalent to 1, that the number 3 equals 1. What's 1 plus 1?
God's ways don't have to make sense, and they don't.
Gotcha. So your God's nonsense. That's fine. If all you're saying is that God's nonsense, I'm fine with
I'm
that.
not
God's
saying God's
nonsense. I
nonsense,
agree.
and you know that's not what I'm saying. You're trying
Well,
to
you're saying
twist
that
my
God
words.
doesn't make sense. So if God doesn't
I am
make
saying that
sense,
it
then
doesn't
God's
have to make sense to you, right? Because God's ways are not our ways, and His thoughts are not our thoughts. Like what He does doesn't have to make sense to us.
That's fine. I'm just going to say that God's nonsense then, because that's what you're describing. You're saying that God doesn't fit the rules of logic, so God's illogical.
He doesn't have to. God created everything. God created
Gotcha.
the
Wait,
people
but you
who
would agree that God's illogical then?
God can do whatever He wants. He can be like God created the people who came up with science and math, which is what you're basing all of your thoughts or your beliefs on.
So are you saying that God like lacks God doesn't make sense, that he like lacks clear sense?
No, God's perfect.
Oh, but like to us that he lacks sense, that from our perspective.
Well, from your perspective, from your unwillingness perspective.
Gotcha. So lacking sense is the definition of illogical, so God's illogical. Daniel, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W Daniel, W666, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Daniel. Big W Daniel in the comment section.
Well, I hope you find God. I gotta go and be with my child right now, but I know you know what I'm saying in your heart.
I definitely don't, but I appreciate it. Oh no. Well, if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you don't, not going to talk to you. And that you have a real argument that for God that does not involve personal experience. Keep on double tapping on that screen. Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 for the Bible teaches obedience, not morals. So true, Grimlock. I agree. Double tap on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 200k likes. We can do this. Double tap on that screen or I'll cry. Everyone leave 10 or 20 likes right now so we can get there, or I'll cry. I'll cry right here on stream. If you want to support the stream, Venmo's allegedly -Ian and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate it. W all the gifters. If you're 18 or older and you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would love to talk to you there. It's discord.gg/allegedly Ian. What's up, Donnie? How's it going? Are you driving,
good, Ian.
Donnie?
How are you?
Doing well.
I'm
But are you
pulling over.
driving?
I'm pulling over. Pulling over.
Gotcha.
Don't kick me. Don't kick me.
Okay. Well,
Promise.
close call. Close call.
I'm pulling in.
Yeah.
So imagine you live 2,000 years ago, right? And you're trying to explain the world, right? So there's no way any human beings made the world, right?
Human beings didn't. I think that
Right, so
I think humans are made out of things that were on the world. So I don't think that somebody made the
bigger,
world.
yeah. So something bigger than humans created the world, right?
I'm not really sure what you mean by that. I don't really know what bigger in this sense means. Bigger in what way?
So human beings can't create a world, right? We can't create universes, right?
We can't. Yeah. I mean, so far we can't.
Something bigger than us.
What bigger? What do you mean by bigger? I'm not really sure what you mean bigger.
With more powers.
Bigger in powers. What do you mean? If by power you just mean like the ability to do something? Sure, something with the ability to create us, created us. But I would just say that this process is like evolution. I don't think that it's God. I would just say that it's like evolution.
When did that term come around? Evolution.
When did the term come around?
Yeah, evolution.
So I mean, like the term rock came around.
No, evolution.
Yeah,
Evolution.
but like just to demonstrate the faultiness of this point, the term rock came around maybe like 1,000 years ago. But rocks are a lot older than 1,000 years old. Evolution came a couple hundred years ago. That doesn't mean that it's not true, though.
Correct. So they didn't. So these people were just trying to name something that's bigger than a human, right? They're just trying to name what created us. There has to be something bigger than humans. Let's call it God. It's just a term applied to what something bigger
I'm not
than a
going to
human.
call that God, because typically when we talk about God, we're talking about something with a mind, like a creator who is all good, all powerful, and all knowing. That's not evolution. Evolution doesn't have a mind. It's just a logical process whereby the things that are good at surviving and reproducing are more likely to survive and reproduce.
And what I'm saying, I'm saying evolution is God.
Oh, that's not just the definition of God. Like, what religion are you?
I don't know. I don't assign to any religion, but
So if you just want, you can call words, you can call any meaning anything you want. Like if you wanted to
right.
call evolution like goo goo gaga, you can do that. No one can stop you. You can also, your mouth can produce the sound God, and you can say God is evolution. It just so happens to be the case that nobody means that when they say God. When people say God, what they mean is a mind who is all good, all powerful, and all knowing.
D- no. They're just saying something that creates a creator that's bigger than humans. Yeah, it's
But
evolution.
do you think that this creator has a mind?
It it is able to create consciousness, so it is at least has a consciousness. It might have a bigger consciousness than a mind. It might be more complex than a mind, but it at least has a mind.
I have no idea what that means to be bigger than a mind. But if you think that evolution has a mind, then prove it.
What I'm saying is,
Where's this mind located?
in the design, in our own mind, like you have a consciousness, right?
Yeah, but I'm I'm
So
searching on my consciousness. I'm like focusing deep on my consciousness, and seems like there's only one consciousness here. It doesn't seem like there's multiple consciousnesses. So
so
that's not true.
so
So I'll just ask you again. Where's this consciousness?
so wherever the world came from was also able to create consciousness, right?
I don't think so. I don't really know
Where
what that
did
means. I think that the world came from the Big Bang and that the universe has just been going through infinite cycles of rapid expansions and rapid contractions.
and now we have consciousness, right?
Yeah, via evolution, yeah.
So that Big Bang had the power to create consciousness.
Maybe like very indirectly, sure.
So the Big Bang has at least consciousness within it.
No.
Oh, why not?
Because there are some things that are emergent properties, that some properties are present in none of the components, but only present when the components come together. That consciousness is a thing that's present when there are brains, and it's not present when there aren't brains. And brains come from things that are not themselves brains. For example, none of the parts of a mousetrap have the function of a mousetrap. Like none of them will like snap and like unalive a mouse. But if you put them all together, then they will. But apart, they just do nothing. They don't do that. None of them has that property. So in the same way, there are some properties that come about as emergent properties. So we don't need a consciousness to create consciousness. Consciousness comes from brains and brains come from evolution.
Right. Exactly.
W concession? That just means that there's necessarily no brains until there's evolution. So no, there's no consciousness until evolution happens, which means that evolution itself is not conscious, because in order for it to be conscious, it would have to have a brain, and in order for it to have a brain, then evolution would need to happen to produce that brain. Absent that, that means that evolution isn't conscious.
Are you saying, so you would agree that maybe like a fetus really isn't a human because it's not?
Not a human. I would say that I think I'm agnostic to the specifics. I think I'm at least pro sentience and maybe just pro choice the entire way. I don't know.
Because like fetus itself wouldn't have consciousness, therefore it can't be the source of consciousness then?
What?
Like a fetus eventually will get a consciousness, right?
Yeah, after its brain develops enough.
Right. And just like the Big Bang started without like the consciousness at its beginning, it grew to have consciousness.
So then where would this consciousness be located? Why would I want to believe in like a random consciousness in the universe? Why would I want that?
It's the shared consciousness. It's the truth that we all share as humans.
I have no idea what that means. Do you got anything else for me, or should I move on to the next guest?
Let's see here. So you're assigning a human form to this idea that of a creator. We're just saying God is something bigger than humans. That you could call it the Big Bang, you could call it science, you could
No,
call
I'm not.
anything,
I'm not gonna call it that because
anything
that's not that.
truth.
When nobody uses the word God that way. You can. We already have
That's what.
words for these. We already have words for these concepts. The
That's
word that the
so.
word God goes to the concept of a mind who created everything. Typically, one who's all powerful, all knowing, and all good.
So you're having humans tell you what God is. You're taking humans' definition of what
God is
God
a
is.
human word. Yeah.
So you're assigning human opinions to something greater than human.
Yes, necessary because God's a human word and it also doesn't exist. So yeah. I mean humans made it, so they defined it. All words are made and defined by humans. It just seems like you're talking about a thing that I'm not talking about. So okay, wait. Insofar as you don't believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, I'm probably just gonna move on to the next guest because again, if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you don't do that, not going to talk to you. And that you have an argument which does not involve personal experience. Also, make sure that you're not driving and that you have good audio quality. Keep on double tapping on that screen though. Let's get all the way up to 220k likes. Let's get all the. If everyone left 20 likes, we'd already be there right now. So we can do this. Just push forward. We got this. I believe in us. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-Ian and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. Both of them are in my bio. I appreciate any and all support. And if you're 18 or older, you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. It's also discord.gg/allegedly-Ian. I'd love to see you there. We talk about politics, religion, and philosophy. It's a great place for you to learn and ask questions. What's up? How's it going, guest?
Hi, my name is Yanni. How are you, Ian?
Doing well. You're a bit quiet.
Oh, I'm gonna put my volume up. Can you hear me better?
Maybe a bit better. Can you get closer to your phone? You close to your mic?
I'm gonna take off my headphones. Just a second. Okay, can you hear me now?
Much better, yeah. How old are you?
I'm 30.
And what religion are you?
I used to be Seventh-day Adventist, so Protestant.
You're Protestant. Right now?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experience?
That doesn't involve personal experience. Thank you for asking the question that way. I am one of those believers who stands in the middle ground between evolutionaryism and creationism. So I can't, well, no living being, regardless of your belief system, can prove or disprove an idea, which is what Abrahamic God is.
I think we can. Because, so for example...
It's not tangible. Like, you can't tangibly prove or, like... Because an idea is intangible, you can't disprove it or prove it.
No, but I'll give you an example of how we can. So you can prove it or disprove it by finding contradictions within that idea. So for example, I can disprove the existence of a square circle by pointing out that circles have no sides and squares have 4 sides. Something can't have both 0 sides and also 4 sides because 0 is not equal to 4, which means that a squared circle cannot exist. Similarly, I can point to properties of God and say that, well, these properties prove that God can't possibly exist because there's contradictions in it.
You're describing verifiable science. Like, the reason why we can formulate that a square can also be a circle square is because of mathematics, because of science, tangible science. Yep. So like if I had like, let's say a 3D printer, I could try to input the data for it to produce a square circle or a circle square. But like I said, because it's a philosophical or theological idea, I can't formulate it to disprove it. So looking for contradiction in, let's say, the Old Testament and the New Testament, so the Bible, I'd be using literature as my standing point to argue an intellectual argument, if that makes any sense.
Kind of, but you acknowledge that contradictions don't exist in reality, right?
They do exist in reality.
Yeah, can you find me a logical contradiction?
A logical contradiction. If I use like physiology and anatomy, there's so many contradictions in the human body whenever there's a cell mutation.
There are inefficiencies and there are problems with it, certainly.
That's
But that's not a
semantics.
logical contradiction. So what would be an example of a contradiction if it was true, both that there are no problems with our anatomy, but also that there are problems with our anatomy? That would be an example of a contradiction, but it
You're
needs to be
using
one or the other. It can't be both. For example, the sun can't both exist and not exist at the exact same time.
well, now
That
you're
would be
talking
just be
about
nonsense.
okay. So I understand what you're saying. The thing is that if we're going to talk, the metaphor, or at least the example that I used, was anatomy and physiology to talk about the physical body. I can't talk about the stars. I'm not proficient in the stars. What I will say is, like, I think that things can be paradoxical, so contradictory, not necessarily looking for a problem, or how do I say this? Like, to give you an example of a physical or anatomical, sorry, I don't speak English as a first language. Anatomical or physical paradox is people who are intersexed. So they will present as a certain sex or gender based on how they present, but genetically their biological makeup will be contradictory, so paradoxical.
I don't think that it's contradictory or paradoxical. And I
Based
don't
on the
think
gender
intersex people would identify with either of those labels. In fact, I think they'd probably be strongly opposed to it. They are the way they are, but there's no contradiction entailed by that. There's
There's a
like
contradiction when you meet, like, biological, the way that we have frameworks in medical science where you get to classify someone based on their sex and their genetic makeup, so chromosomes, and then there's the social construct of gender. So that's what I'm seeing. It's paradoxical.
I think that it's like paradoxical in like maybe like a metaphorical sense, but not in like a literal sense. So when I say that something is contradictory, what I mean is that something is the case and also isn't the case. Now, if someone's intersex, let's say they have like Swyer syndrome, they have like XY chromosomes, like someone assigned female at birth with XY chromosomes. It would be the case that they have XY chromosomes, but an example of a contradiction would be if you said, well, they have XY chromosomes, but also they don't have XY chromosomes. That would be a contradiction. That would be wouldn't be a paradox, because paradox has like a very specific mathematical definition, which involves like self-reference. But so it wouldn't be that. Maybe in like a metaphorical sense, you could say that it's like I don't know, like confusing. But even those, like I probably wouldn't say that. But if we want to talk about anatomy and physiology, I think that we could totally disprove God, just on the grounds that if you think that God's perfect, you would expect our anatomy to be perfect, but our DNA is like extraordinarily inefficient. Most of our DNA is just completely useless. So if God's perfect, if he's a perfect designer, why would he design it so badly?
The thing is that I can't speak, like I said, I straddle in the middle of creationism and evolutionaryism, because I can't answer to the idea, the concept that God, or the Abrahamic God, is perfect. So maybe I'm not the perfect candidate to discuss this with, but
do you think that, so you don't think that God's perfect?
I have to lean on different denominations' interpretation. Personally, if you ask me not to use personal, like, anecdotes or...
Well, I want you to use your personal beliefs, certainly, that if you think God's perfect, then, but if you don't think he's perfect, then like, let me know. Because if you don't think that he's perfect, then you just reject the Bible, which is fine. I mean, you're welcome to reject the Bible.
I don't think, the thing is that I haven't seen a place where there's enough nuance where, at least in religious circles or agnostic and atheistic circles, I haven't seen a place in the middle where it's like, I can't vouch for the moral integrity of an intangible being. So I can't say he's perfect or not perfect. What I can speak to is literature, my interpretation of the literature. And my interpretation of the literature is uncommon. It's not the dominant binary, like black or white dichotomy.
Yeah, I can tell. But do you think God is like good?
Like I said, if you look at the Old Testament, not necessarily. Based on what your moral background is. When I was growing up, I would get in trouble because I would question the moral stories of the Torah, of the Old Testament, because I was like, what do you mean you can just wipe out the human race and then start over?
True, yeah. No, I agree. And it seems like you have a very untraditional viewing of it. But at that point, like, why be a Christian at all? It seems like you reject most of the Bible.
I want to say that there are fundamental moral pillars that I stand with. So
why can't you just stand with those pillars without God?
Because I can't physically prove or disprove his existence.
Maybe you should just be an agnostic then.
That's what I'm saying. I think what I'm describing is somewhere in the middle.
Okay. But why would you? So because an agnostic says like, well, I don't know. Okay. So here's one way that you actually could. Here's like a belief that you can hold that actually would disprove God. You could be a naturalist. You could say, well, I don't believe in supernatural things, and if you don't believe in supernatural things, then that means that you don't believe in God. But like, think about it. The universe around us looks more or less exactly as you would expect it to look if there was nothing supernatural. If all the things that exist were just the natural things.
I think I understand what you're saying. I'm a little bit distracted by people saying I'm confused because I'm presenting something nuanced that maybe they're not familiar with, and it's standing outside.
No, you're chilling. You're doing a-okay. Don't worry about them.
I feel like I can really appreciate your perspective because you meet people where they're at. The reason why I wouldn't go with a naturalist perspective is because I do believe in some aspect in the spiritual realm or the potentiality of a spiritual realm.
Why?
Because there's a lot of things that, especially as a African descendant whose ancestors were in the transatlantic slave trade, a lot of our culture and identities as Afro descendants is built around African spirituality. And a lot of our survival is built on not a Judeo-Christian belief, colonial belief, but mainly on African spirituality like voodoo. I'll speak specifically to my ethnicity, which is Haitian. So I feel like this black and white, you either believe in a God or you don't believe in a God. You either believe that there is such a thing as spiritual, intangible things that we can't see and we can't explain, or there's absolutely nothing beyond the spiritual. There's just the physical, the natural world, and science can always prove and disprove things. To me, that's a colonial mindset because it doesn't leave for much. It doesn't leave for any perspective outside of Western thought.
I agree with that to an extent. There's some things which I think are like distinctly not scientific, and when you apply science to them, it actually does become like really weird. For example, I think that if you apply like too much science to like trans people, for example, you fall into like gender essentialism or like trans medicalism, where you just I mean, I agree to an extent. However, like certainly science is good for some things, and okay, that's like fine. If you want to believe in voodoo, that's fine. That's whatever. There's like much more harmful like spiritual beliefs out there, and in fact, it seems like that probably like does something for you specifically. So that's whatever. I don't take an issue with that. But why would you want to believe in like the Christian God at all if you believe in voodoo and these things are like diametrically opposed?
They're not diametrically opposed because a lot of voodoo, Santeria, a lot of those West African sub-religions or spiritualities have basically morphed in Christianity models. So in a lot of these belief systems, you'll see Christian saints or Catholic saints. I don't agree necessarily with engaging with that. For me, it's more of the traditional African deities.
Okay, wait, but do you believe in God? Like there's like a fucking dude in the clouds who's doing like heaven and hell shit, who's like, there's like, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, they're just like chilling about.
For now, no. At least for like at 30, I don't think so. But like I said, I don't know if it's an intellectual thing or a spiritual thing, but I feel like it would be arrogant for me to say yes or no definitively.
Okay, so it seems like you're not Protestant per se, but rather that you're like just agnostic to the Christian God.
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly. Like this, in the same way that I would argue, like if I were in a room full of Latter-day Saints that are arguing that Buddhism is completely false, I would argue the same arguments where it's like, well, you can't disprove or prove that Siddhartha Buddha is a real or an unreal deity.
Yeah, maybe. Although I think for Buddhism, there's like some pretty crazy issues that you run into with reincarnation. For example, if reincarnation is true, I think I struggle to understand why like something like Schmurder would be wrong if you're just going to be reincarnated.
I think it's the act of taking someone else's life that's vilified.
But I don't see why that would be bad if you're reincarnated.
Because I guess one lifetime is not invaluable because you potentially have access to another. Every lifetime or lifeline is valuable within itself. So taking someone else's lifeline or lifetime is morally corrupt or inept. So even if you get because I'm just following your logic here. If you get reincarnated and you firmly believe and it's proved that you can reincarnate, that doesn't mean that I don't get to live out this lifetime.
Sure, but you would at least, like, if you believe in Buddhism, you would at least, like, recognize that, like, murder is, like, definitely not as bad as it is under, like, atheism, for example. That there's, like, a huge harm to taking someone's life under atheism because that's all they get. Whereas under, like, Buddhism, like, you know, you can be sad about it or whatever. You shouldn't do that. Like, it's valuable or whatever. But at the same time, like, you do have infinite cycles of reincarnation.
Well, I have a pretty limited understanding of Eastern spirituality, so I don't want to get too much into it, but my understanding of Buddhism is, like, harming an ant is an issue. Like, you won't have access to nirvana if you harm another living being. So I think that if we compare atheism, where you think there isn't an afterlife, it's more egregious to commit murder than it would be in a Buddhist ideology.
Yeah, okay. And so to clarify for Buddhism, we could just call it manslaughter, actually, because Buddhism, like, under atheism, like, manslaughter is like a crazy tragedy. Like, that's so sad that somebody lost their life and that's all they get. Under Buddhism, it's possible to, like, accidentally commit manslaughter and also achieve enlightenment. Grimlock, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. W666, Grimlock, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Grimlock. W Grimlock in the chat, by the way. So manslaughter is compatible, but in Buddhism, my understanding is essentially just that you're trying to achieve spiritual enlightenment by breaking apart, like, dichotomies and by recognizing that, like, desire, like, you basically just need to stop wanting things and you need to stop putting everything into these, like, categories and these like, dichotomies, because that just creates more suffering for you. But I think that it's possible to do all of that and, like, still commit manslaughter. But obviously, I think I really struggle to find reasons why it's, like,
well, if you've detached from the ego,
same magnitude of tragic.
I think I'm trying to understand. It's like, if we follow that logic of detachment or disillusionment of the ego or the self, why would you then want to commit murder if you've detached from your ego?
Oh, I'm saying, let's change it from murder to manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Well, the taking of a life. I don't.
Yeah. So you don't. I mean, manslaughter is obviously accidental. You don't want to commit it. It just happens.
So you think that there's no moral consequence regardless of your belief system?
So I think that there's differences. So I actually would say that it's not immoral in any system to commit manslaughter. Yeehaw! Thank you so much, Itachi. Insofar as I think that if it's an accident, I can't really hold you morally responsible unless you did something, like, negligent, but that's a different conversation. If it's like truly a pure accident, then I would just call that manslaughter. And I don't think that that's immoral. I think that that's like amoral, because you actually didn't, like, choose to do. I think for something to be immoral, you need to actually, like, choose to do it, and you didn't really choose to do it. So, but I think it's way more tragic under atheism that if somebody dies in, like, a car accident, that's like a no fault car accident, like freak accident. That's, like, super tragic under atheism, because that was the only life that person gets. But under Buddhism, I actually don't think that that's like sad or whatever, but it's not nearly the tragedy that it is under atheism, because it's like, oh, you know, that sucks, but they're like an ant somewhere now. You know, they're just, like, going up the anthill right now. They're like a clover in the wind or something. They're like an elm tree at this point.
What I'm trying to understand is, like, the use of the word tragic.
Just like it's like upsetting and sad. I just don't see why it's, like, upsetting and sad for, like, or I don't understand why it would be as upsetting and sad under Buddhism.
Well, I think, it's ironic because now I'm going to talk about the ego. It's okay. This might be out there, and I don't know if I'm going to get crucified for saying that. No pun intended. One thing that concerns me the most about Alzheimer's or dementia is the loss of self. So the loss of your mind, the loss of identity. And I think that's what a lifetime is. So whether you follow the belief system of agnosticism or atheism or Buddhism or Christianity, whether you believe in an afterlife or not, that self, that lifetime, that identity is still worth living, whether there's a continuation or a reset button or not. I don't think one is more tragic. I don't think one is more tragic than the other.
But the sadness, no, I think it is way more tragic that if your life comes to a complete halt and then your existence, you're like, you now no longer exist, that's way more sad than if your life comes to a halt, but you do still exist. I think it's like way more sad under atheism, if somebody were like taken in a car accident, like a complete freak accident car accident, than it would be under Buddhism if somebody was taken in a freak accident car accident, because now that person just gets reincarnated. I don't know, that seems like super intuitive, that for me, death is bad because it's an end to being, but it's not an end to being and under Buddhism, or it's not as much of it's a lesser end to being. Like you still are, you're just like different. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's just not as sad in my mind that if I knew Buddhism was true, I would probably not be as sad about people being unalived.
I think I understand. I was just trying to understand, like, how do you quantify the value of a life depending on your belief system, or at least the afterlife concept?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I think one thing I was trying to understand also, not just intellectually, but just for to have a better understanding of your point of view. One of the reasons why I don't try to argue that God is real or not real is because I know how much of a balm it is to rely on your belief systems to, how do I say this? Atténuer, in French we say atténuer, to decrease the volume. There's no English equivalent for it.
How's it spelled?
Atténuer. Attenuer. Atténuer, it's a verb.
Mitigate?
I guess so, yeah. Something between mitigating and lessening, and also like French is very descriptive, so that's why I struggle to. Philippe Gagnon, thank you. It's talking about the tragedy, like if an agnostic would lose his life or their life, and it's a lot more tragic in comparison to someone who has a belief system that they have access to either different lifetimes or at least an afterlife. I think my question lies therein, wouldn't you want to rely on a belief system where there's a question mark as opposed to a definitive period? So agnosticism versus atheism.
I think what I want in this case would probably just be overridden by like I want truth. I just want to believe in true things. Like whatever I believe in, I want it to be true. I don't want to believe in it because I feel better or like, you know, it's nice. Maybe it would be nice if everybody got to live forever with their friends and we all got to play like, you know, 2008 Halo Reach with all of our buddies till the end of time. That would be rad. Unfortunately, I just don't think that that's the reality we live in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you've answered all my question, and I feel like I'm a little bit more. I understand your point of view a lot more now.
Yeah, I love talking to you. This was great. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Wow, let's get a big W guest in the comment section. Yeah, I miss Halo Reach every day. I miss coming home in like 4th, 5th grade playing. I think it was Infection. With all my friends on Xbox Live. God, those were the days. Life was so simple. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing with your friends. Let's get all the way up to 250k likes. If everyone left 30 likes right now, we would already be there. Share it with your friends. Do all that good stuff as we go on to the very next guest. If you want to join the community, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. Also, if you want to support the stream, the Venmo is allegedly -Ian, and the Cash App is just allegedly Ian. If you want to get more knowledgeable about philosophy, we're doing philosophy reading groups every Saturday in my Discord. All you need to do is read the paper in advance and then come to the reading group. I'd love to see you there. Right now we're reading Logical Problems of Evil and The Free Will Defense by Graham Oppy. my favorite philosopher of all time. I would love to see all of you there. What's up, Franklin? How's it going? Franklin, are you there? What channel is the paper? It's in like the book club paper. I think I also dropped it in the announcements, but that's neither here nor there. Make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you never want to miss a debate like this in the future. If you're enjoying them, you want to see more just like this. What's up, Mr.? How's it going? Mr. Everything, are you there? Hannah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Nope.
Hello? Oh, I accept your surrender. Get folded like a chair, get scrambled like an omelet, get cooked like a souffle, get baked like a potato, get your ankles absolutely obliterated. What's up, Cupids? How's it going?
Hello.
How old are you?
I'm like 15 years old. I just
You gotta
want
be
to
18 or older. Sorry. If you're in that guest request box, make sure you're 18 or older, that you believe in the God of the Bible, Torah, or Quran. If you don't do that, probably not going to talk to you. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to end stream right now, actually. Sorry about that. We're going to go raid Dean. Dean is live on, it's Dean with 2 A's, 2 N's. We're going to go raid him. But make sure you're dropping a follow if you never want to miss a debate in the future. Again, there's a link to the Discord in my bio. I would love to see you there. We only join if you're 18 or older, but it's discord.gg/allegedlyian. I'm very active in that server. You can ask me questions there. I always love answering if they're short questions or if they're, as long as you don't write me like 3 fucking essays, I'll try to read through it and answer it. But otherwise, come join the book club in the server if you want to get cracked at philosophy. If you don't know where to start, especially with like philosophy of religion, we're talking about the problem of evil, which is like, why are there bad things in the world if God's all good? And it just goes through and gives like a really good framework for explaining and understanding the problem of evil. That's the paper we're reading. Again, it's Logical Problems of Evil by Graham Oppie. It's a great paper made by a great philosopher, so I think you would all love it. I know I love it, so consider joining. If you want a more selfish reason to join, I tag you every time that I go live, so you'll never miss a live because you will always, always, always be notified. It's a great community, wonderful people. I just love it there. So again, the Discord is discord.gg/allegedlyian, and it is in my bio. But other than that, we're going to go raid Dean. Dean's live on It's Dean with 2 A's, 2 N's. Love all of you. See y'all.